Welcome to Seven-Sided Die's Carpathian Adventure. Travel back 700 years to the early 1300s. Castles like this dot the countryside. The Hungarian Empire, or Carpathian Empire, is at its zenith. The nascent Ottomans are on the rise, but neither Holy nor Roman nor an empire, Holy Roman Empire, battles within. England and France fight one another. As the Templars recede into history, the Teutons are on the rise. Welcome to the Carpathian Adventure. This was a great hall. There would have been a roaring fire. It would have been adorned with Gothic windows. This might be where our adventuring party might gather. Let's meet them.
From the kingdom of Aragon, I am Ximén. I ventured forth with few possessions and little coin, save an ancient tomb I searched to decipher. But I've struggled to find clues, and at times, food. While freezing in the Alps, fate crossed my path with a shining knight and the champions of the sun. Having aided me in a desperate time, they have earned my service and my friendship. Now, using my wizardry, I fight by their side.
I am Balder, a Norseman, a soldier, and an eldritch knight. I left my home to leave politics behind, only to be dogged by it across Europe. I first met the champions of the sun outside a small town in Hungary. Together, we and family. The champions gave me purpose again, and where it takes me, I know not, but I know I want to be a part of it.
I am Mikolash, a monk from Romania, and sometimes too curious for my own good. My scars tell only part of the tale. Having witnessed cannibalism in my village, as a child, I fled, never to return. On my own, I stole from others to survive. A monk caught me and offered me a better way, but I abused their kindness. Now I walk alongside the champions of the sun. Will they be my own undoing? Or have I finally found the path I was meant for?
I am Borinth, the cave bear. I come from a tribe of barbarians that once lived in the mountains of the Badenweiler. While on my sacred spirit quest, my tribe and family were attacked with none left alive. I now seek the power to avenge my people. With my rage, I grow stronger. And with the champions of the sun, I seek a path to restore and preserve my people's culture and rid this world of any evil that stands in my way.
I am Matthias, of the House of Bathory, Knight Baron of Carpathia. With my traveling companion, Ambria, I was dragged into a whirlwind path by a rogue monk. But those I have met since then have earned my respect, and, more importantly, my trust.
Welcome to the Carpathian Adventure. Welcome, I'm Tom. Thank you for joining us. We're a group of gamers who get together in real life to play Dungeons and Dragons. Some of us are in the military, others are in construction, still others retail managers, a few are in IT. We're parents, students, etc. So we do this strictly for fun. We hope you enjoy it nonetheless. There were quite a few thank yous in our open, except one. We would like to thank you, our Twitch, Facebook, and Twitter followers, as well as our YouTube subscribers. Thank you for joining us. We're getting close to 400 YouTube subscribers. I know that's small peanuts compared to some channels, but hey, that's pretty cool. We appreciate every single one of you.
Oh, yeah.
If you have not already, please follow on Twitch, please like on YouTube, and of course, and Facebook, and of course, please subscribe on YouTube. I think we also have like 428 some odd followers on Facebook. If during the stream you follow on Twitch, or if you subscribe on YouTube, your username will pop up on the screen during the stream. Some of us are watching Twitch. I have it up right behind me here. Please feel free to comment or ask questions while live. We will endeavor to interact if the opportunity presents itself. To all of you, thank you very much. What's going on in the campaign? The party is building strength and gathering allies to defeat a powerful vampire named Bayuk Osman Ghazi. That's the cat being fed upstairs, by the way. In their effort to do so, they are collecting parts to create a powerful magical weapon. Their quest led them to Schloss Kyberg. A series of battles and a siege later, they acquired the Heilige Lanze, or the Lancehead, from the Spear of Destiny. The DM believes they are now in search of at least 2 other parts, and perhaps a staff and a power source, and maybe something that binds the parts together. The party, in the last session, the party at Les Borinth rode out of the Badenweiler in pursuit of the Storm and the Invisible Beast. They passed several villages, one large city, and crossed from the east side of the Rhine to the west side. They were closing the gap with the beast. Meanwhile, with Borinth, along with countless villagers, he was encased inside the beast itself and freezing. He coaxed the villagers to shift their weight back and forth in an attempt to tip the beast over. As he did, he created a small area around himself where he was able to pull his arm up and his hammer up, and then rocking back and forth and swinging his hammer, Borinth slowly started bashing his way out of the frozen beast. His hammer protruded, as did a villager's spear. Back with the party, the beast, rocking back and forth, stopped at a frozen lake. That's where they saw it. Ximén, who was losing his marbles and still bound to a bench, tried to convince Pandora to free him so that he could move closer. Instead, he inadvertently coaxed the horse, on which he was strapped, to ride into battle. Sigismund the Legless, former Templar knight, intentionally rode into battle and attacked the beast. Seeing the mounted wizard and the mounted fighter approach, the huge invisible monstrosity swung a tree and crushed the legs of their horses. Pandora ran forward, freed Ximén from his binds, backed up to keep her distance from the beast, and eldritch blast it. Mikolash, also mounted, rode forward, leapt up off of his horse, and punched the swirling mass of wind, ice, and snow. He then shadow-stepped into the air and grabbed hold of the hammer and the spear that were sticking out of the beast. Not knowing who they belonged to, Mikolash tried to pull them out. The hammer was attached to Borinth, of course, and the spear to a frozen villager. Borinth, as he would, held fast to his hammer, but Mikolash managed to pull the villager's spear out a few feet and now found himself dangling in midair with his arms spread wide. Borinth pulled his hammer back inside the beast. When he did, he pulled it away from Mikolash. Borinth then managed to get an arm free and outside the beast. Grabbing hold of a different villager, he pulled himself and the villager outside the beast, the two falling 20 feet to the ground below. Mattias drank a potion of healing and poured oil of sharpness on his lance, then pontificated a bit more. Lowering his lance, he charged forward and struck the beast, severely wounding it. Freed by Pandora, Ximén, or now Hallen, charged forward and attacked the beast with a dagger, no less. Sigismund the Legless unlatched himself from his now legless horse, dragged himself forward, and attacked as well. The beast pounded Sigismund like a peg into the ice with the tree. Mattias rode to Sigismund, leapt off of his horse, pulled him out of the ice, and threw him over his horse.
After Borinth and a villager tumbled out of the beast, Mikolash was still 20 feet in the air, holding on to the spear that was in the villager's hands. Mikolash pulled the villager out, and like popping a cork, the spearmen, 3 other villagers, and Mikolash tumbled onto the ice below. Borinth got up and attacked the beast. Seeing Ximén attack with a dagger, Borinth then positioned himself in front of him. Undeterred, Ximén maneuvered around Borinth and again attacked with his trusty dagger. Sigismund and the freed villagers attacked again, but the beast skewered one of the villagers with a massive icicle, killing him instantly. Pandora chill touched the beast. Mattias lanced it again, and Mikolash let loose a flurry of blows on the invisible monstrosity, taking it down. Many, many villagers tumbled from the remains of the beast. The party helped them off the ice. Having just struck the killing blow against the giant invisible monstrosity, Mikolash was the sole remaining party member on the ice when a serpent of some sort burst out from underneath him. Mikolash was lifted many feet into the air. The huge worm tried to bite him, but he did a tap dance on top of its snout. Pandora tried to shoot the worm, but she shot herself in the head by accident. Mattias shouted, "They're never alone!" Hearing that, Mikolash misty-stepped off the ice. The party retired from the lake and the ice to the nearby city of Mainz. En route to the city, Mattias and Ximén, or again Hallen, had a conversation regarding the latter's ability, or inability as the case may be, to cast spells. The party collectively had several long conversations regarding Ximén's condition and his alter egos, Hallen and John, and maybe someone called the Mad Arab. Despite the late hour, the town guards saw the battered and beaten party and the accompanying wounded refugees and let them in. The party entered the city of Mainz and found a tavern. The following morning, the party planned to purchase wagons and teams to pull them, then head out of town. It is now morning. The party members may have each completed a short rest, or they may be one day into a long rest. With that, in the Weinhaus Blum Inn, we rejoin the waking party. Welcome back, guys. Huzzah. How's everybody doing?
That was a great opening.
All I did was write it. You guys lived it. I'm just back here. Yes, exactly. Sorry that Ryan is not here, and we're sorry that Michelle is not here. Ryan Balder and Michelle Pandora are not here. You guys, it is early morning. What are you guys doing?
I'm gonna look for those carts, look for those extra horses that we may need, and some carts. Enough to transport all these people, at least the ones that aren't well enough to walk the 2 or 3 day travel that we're gonna have to do, pretty much, right?
Yeah, probably 3 days.
Yeah, and Matthias is going to assist however he can in that particular matter.
Okay, you guys have chow, and then at a minimum, Borinth and Mattias head out. What is Ximén and Mikolash doing?
As I wake, I'm feeling a little tired, a little stiff in the bones. I'll slowly make my way down into the tavern and eat with everybody else, I suppose.
Okay. You guys, Mattias prepaid for everything, pretty much. There's a food spread out, and somebody points you over towards some. You recognize, speaking German, you recognize some of the language, and you also notice there's a little bit of French being spoken in here as well. Mikolash, what are you doing? Are you with him? Or?
Getting close to the border.
I'm gonna see that Ximén's moving slow. I'm just gonna blow right past him. My abnormal walking speed is way faster than this guy, so I'm just gonna come down, and I want to kind of examine this tavern area. I know we're very close to where that beast was with this town, so I kind of want to analyze this tavern, see if it's similar to the previous tavern where we had that incident in the Badenweiler, see if there's anything like maybe Roman-ish, if I'm getting any kind of vibe of that, any trinkets or anything, any sorts. Just kind of scan the walls, scan the area, look around.
As opposed to the Votensklage tavern, there's no trinkets and baubles on the walls. It's not unpleasant, if you will. It's a sturdy wood frame with stone, wattle, and daub structure makes up most of the building. A large wooden carved sign outside depicts a cherubic barmaid with her head tilted slightly to the side. She's winking one eye. With a raised hand has a wine goblet. Inside the tavern, it's a low-ceiling structure with thick, heavy wooden beams supporting a floor and numerous lanterns attached to the wall. It's reasonably crowded for an early morning. You can hear business going on outside of the tavern, and you can hear somebody hawking something. There he is now.
I just have no idea what he's saying though. Yeah, it's like Snoopy.
So, I mean, nothing screams anything in particular at the moment. What are you looking for, maybe?
Nothing really specific, just I know that I had found that Roman helmet, so I guess just kind of look for anything that seems, I wouldn't know what I'd be looking for, but something that I would think as Mikolash would maybe stick out as something old enough to maybe be Roman-esque.
This is probably what it looks like. It may not be that dark this time of the morning, but that's probably about what it looks like.
Okay.
You look around and you don't spot nothing glaringly. It's not the Bennigans or TGIFs that was Wotan's Kalaga. It looks, I hesitate to use the term upscale, but as opposed to like a bar you might travel through in some parts of the country where it's just other.
Probably anxious to kick the 30 of us
What,
out
Tom?
of here.
Yeah. I'll sow my disappointment.
No. I wasn't going to say barbarians at all. That's not what I was going to say. I was going to say something else, but somebody might take offense.
With that, I'll stow my disappointment, push it far down into me, and I'll just kind of meander around, just kind of looking at people, the 30 or so rescues, seeing what the mood is like.
They seem pleased to be alive. They're scrounging food. They're speaking with one another. Some are talking with the barkeep and with others in the tavern. But for the most part, they're just glad to be alive. They're obviously still somewhat worn out. These are not adventurers. Some of them might be stronger than others, but they're common folk. So they've just went through an ordeal that is probably pretty intensive for all, is the best way to describe it.
Okay. I'll walk toward one of them and I'll kind of give them like a shoulder pat, and if they try to engage with me, I'll just immediately just start walking away. And I'll walk over to, I guess, Ximén, and then that'll be it for me.
Okay. Borinth and Mattias, the two of you go out into the street. You can very easily meander up and down, and somebody points you to a stable and to a wagoneer, and you can find somebody, and you run into them, and you have, how many horses are you looking for? How many wagons?
Thinking 2 wagons. Maybe 2 wagons.
What are you
At
hauling?
minimum, I would say possibly 3, depending on
Just people
how
and
many
supplies.
people.
Human
How many,
trafficking.
how many people?
So there was about, out of like the 30 or so people that we had, how many would I have been able to tell? How many probably wouldn't be able to make the trip on foot? How many would?
Roll percentile die for me.
This, and do I have the right die for this?
2 d10s, a
Okay.
d20, and then a d10.
That's what I was looking for. Oh, so what is a 90 and a 10 then? I don't know what that makes.
It's 91.
90.
Is that what?
A
I
9-0 and a
No,
1-0?
90 on the percent, and then a 10 on the.
It's just
D10.
90.
Okay.
Oh, it's just 90 then. Okay.
Okay. So about 90%. So only you figure out of 30 that 27 could probably walk, and 3 of them, how far they walk, I don't know. You don't know, but you think they could probably walk, because they're not going to be able to maintain the pace that you guys might maintain running through the woods. But you figure 27 out of 33 definitely can't.
How much per
walk.
cart? And a horse for each cart. Is it a single horse cart or a double horse cart?
You probably need more than one horse. I'd say.
Okay. I don't know how big the carts are.
I'm sorry.
I don't know if the carts are single or double horse drawn.
Probably two horses per wagon. It's not really a cart, it's a wagon.
And a wagon. How much is that?
Give it to you. The two horses. Are they coming back? Or are you? What's your?
They're coming back.
Yeah, they're coming back.
He looks over. For the two horses and the wagon, 150 should be good.
For 2 horses and 1 wagon?
Yes. It's a big wagon. It's probably 15 feet long, about 8 feet wide.
That's probably, we could probably carry everybody in that.
We can carry quite a few.
Okay. So one, okay, we'll do.
I can cover that.
How many? Do you want to get one set or 2 set though? So do you want to get 4 horses and 2 carts, or two horses and 1 cart? It sounds plenty big enough to hold enough of the people, even if a lot of them are taking turns. And some supplies. I'd say two horses and 1 cart.
Okay, 150 gold and.
Very well.
They're yours, he says to you in
I will
Deutsch.
trust your judgment in that regard. I have rarely travelled with.
How many people would you say would be able to
civilians?
Would be able to travel in?
Comfortably, 50, probably. Snug together. Figure about 1.5 feet between, maybe 18-ish.
Okay. About 18 people in a cart, right? That should be.
You can stick a couple in the wheel wells.
Underneath.
Just tie one to the wheel, they just spin.
In the floorboards.
No.
That's up to you, Mattias. I mean, you want to spring for one, I'll spring for the other if you want to double it up. But then that's like we have more than enough. You know what? Let's do both.
Oh, very well.
Okay.
I'll have them
2.
ready in an hour, a couple hours at the most.
And then what we'll do, Mattias, we'll pick up some building supplies and some food, right? And we can travel back with building supplies and some food, right? Because they're gonna have some damage they need repaired back.
I hadn't thought of that actually, but you're right. What they have there available will not be enough to quickly bring their situation up to a standard that I would be comfortable leaving them in. So yes, having the second cart and being able to transport some additional supplies would be a very good idea.
So I'll give him 150 gold, and Mattias, you're gonna give him 150, and we'll take 4 horses, 2 carts.
You got it.
We'll be back in an hour to pick them up.
Yeah, about an hour, yeah.
If I have some supplies sent over to here, could we get them loaded up into the 2 carts? We'll
Sure. Well, I mean, we could have the carts sent to where you're picking up the supplies.
Okay,
but
whatever, that's fine. That'll work too.
Tell us where to go to.
Okay.
I mean,
is there somewhere around here where we can get some building supplies and some
What are you looking
supplies?
for? Like,
probably some lumber and things to that effect.
yeah, he points you down toward the docks, and you'll see a mill down at the docks with a sawmill.
Okay.
And you venture on down there, and you're trying to get the equivalent of Home Depot, Lowe's.
Lowe's Garden.
Yeah, just stuff that we Lowe's Garden. Just stuff that we know that they would probably need just to rebuild some of their structures.
You could probably for 20 gold loaded up with lots of the equivalent of 4x4s and pegs and huge nails and maybe a few awls and hammers and stuff like that.
Yep, I'll do
and
that.
One of them will be loaded up.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we'll just grab some food.
It's all rough-hewn stuff. This isn't kiln dried.
Yeah, no,
like
that's
that.
yeah, that's perfect. And is there somewhere also around town for food supplies?
There's like a general store you could probably find if you're looking for hardtack or something.
So
like
I want to get stuff for the journey for all these people, plus supplies for when we get back to.
Okay, so about When you say get back to
we're heading back to the bottom viler, right?
Oh, okay. So you want how much food to feed how many people for how
Just
long?
however.
So you want like 60 rations, rations for 2 days for 30 people, right?
Right. Yeah. More or less. Yeah.
And what about for the Baden-Weiler itself?
I don't know. Should we bring any additional food? Do you think they'll need it, or they'll probably? I just don't know with the damage that they had.
We probably dwindled the population.
Ale.
We might have extra food stores. After
Yeah,
all.
I'll get like 2 big.
Ale is good. Yeah.
2 big barrels of ale
Okay.
for the road.
Shopping.
Road soda.
Yeah.
Well, shopping.
Yeah, I'll get like 2 barrels of
Okay. For the 2 barrels, 20 gold apiece. They're like kegs, and then for the rations, you basically probably figure could take you up to 3 days with these carts to get down, or 2.5 days. So just 3 days worth of rations times. Just call it, with you guys, 35 people. You're looking at 35, 70, 105. Call it 60 gold. So all told, you're looking at 100 gold.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
I can cover that if you like.
Oh, I already got it. Don't worry about it. Done.
Right then.
Okay. And then once the carts are ready, we'll come by and pick up everything that we ordered. If you want to.
It takes a couple hours. He's got to get the tack set up on them, the horses harnessed
While
up.
they're doing all that, you want to head
cleaned.
back to meet up with the group and let them know what the game plan is or what we got.
I
What we have
think that'd
set
be
up.
best.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll head back to the tavern with
Get
everyone.
back to the inn where we're staying.
Yeah.
Okay, understood. You walk into the tavern. Ximén and Mikolash, I think, are still there.
Mm-hmm.
You see them in there, or whoever it is, and Mikolash, and they're indulging in some food. You see all the villagers are there as well. They're having chowed down some. Some of them are actually still kind of sleepy, and they're kind of falling asleep there. And
All right. As I walk in, I'm just gonna kind of put my hands up and be like, everybody, gather around. Just want to share with you what our plan is. Mattias and I have gotten a hold of some horses and carriages. We've picked up some supplies to rebuild back in your home, and we have enough food for a couple days. So our plan is to head out, perhaps tomorrow morning, and because I'm assuming it's a couple hours already past the
yeah, but it was early. It's up to you.
Oh well, I didn't know how long it took.
It was a few hours. Didn't take
Oh,
that
okay.
long.
Our plan is to head out, head back to the Baden-Weiler, and it probably will take about 2 to 3 days, but we can get you back home. We can get you fed on the road, and we'll have some resources that we can help rebuilding once we get back. Some much-needed resources, I'm sure that they're going to be able to use when we get back. So that's the game plan. I'd say we should be heading out within the hour.
One man comes up to you, Austin, and he says, "I want to thank you." He says to you in German, "You saved our lives."
It is the least that I could do. The honor is all mine.
Well, you did save our lives. I appreciate it. I hope our families will do something for you to thank you. Is that threat gone?
Some of the threat is gone, but the greater threat is not. We have more work to do. But the most important thing right now is to get everybody here, back home, back to safety, and then we can go from there. Unfortunately, we're not in a position right now, my adventurers and myself, to really try to end this thing for everyone. But maybe in a few days, weeks' time, maybe a little bit more, we can do some rebuilding. We can get some much needed rest, and we'll be able to go and put an end to this.
Very well. Sigismund comes forward. He speaks to you in adventurer's cant. Borinth, you fought well. All of you fought well. I'm impressed at you. Oh, nimble one, dancing on the snoot of whatever that thing was that came out of the water. That I saw, by the way.
your friend over here, I think he lost his marbles completely.
I'm just there, like, holding a piece of sausage, marveling at it, and, like, taking bites and savoring each bite.
Yeah, he's got something going on upstairs. We don't quite know what's happening yet.
Yeah, I appreciate the compliment, though.
Yeah, Sigismund, you fought well.
Yeah.
How did it feel? That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, when the big thing hit
How
you.
did it feel?
When it hit me on the head?
No, I mean, how did it feel to have your weapon in your hand again?
You know that I fought in the Holy Land and I fought at Arca. And
I know.
I've seen.
I know
I'm
you
not
have.
new to battle.
That's not my.
But these villagers are not warriors.
No, we
It's one
understand.
thing to be a warrior in the field, it's another to be a leader in a village. They're different skill sets.
I'm going to be counting on you, Sigismund, to
Well,
keep these people moving forward and
that
protecting
beast,
them. And
that's the one with the hands that move like a bread kneader's hands whipping out loaves.
what?
You know, it was going like this and moving and making bread so fast and so forth.
Surprised your eyes could keep up, honestly.
Oh, is he-
and
he's
that
talking
was
about
holding
him?
back.
Yes.
Oh, okay. And I was like, what are you talking about?
Have you never seen anyone make bread? It's insane. It's very quick.
Yes, it's very disturbing.
But there's a division in monkhood. If you when you
Very
make
violent,
bread, or
very violent.
yeah, otherwise you go a different path.
I had never seen, and then it collapsed. So I understand my fellow compatriot wonders. I mean, that should be it then, right? I mean,
I don't know. There's still
There's
all those creatures,
still that big cloud.
there's that big cloud out on the lake. I mean, they all
Yes.
speak as though they, work or fight for someone named Drusus. So, I mean, who's to say that person can't send more their way? I honestly don't know yet. I believe we're going to have to find out, but we're in no condition to find out yet.
I mean,
But-
that cloud on the lake is not our problem down in the Badenweiler, is it?
Well, my understanding is that they've been raiding villages and cities all around up
Yes.
and down here. I'm curious if they've ever even attacked here as well. It might be a good thing to find out if these, guards in this have dealt with any of those same things that we've seen. But my point is, Sigismund, was once we get back and we start, once we get back, we're going to have to try to put an end to this, and we're going to have to hit the road again and get back to our main purpose. And we're going to need somebody in the Badenweiler to look after these people. And I trust you.
Of course. I am there and I will be there. It is
I just
my
hope you
home,
have seen-
just as much as it was your home at
Yes.
one point.
And it will be one day too. I dream of coming back and calling it once again home. I really do. I just need you to keep. I need you to keep them safe. I need you to keep their traditions alive. Okay, and I need you to not lose hope in
Well, we
what
haven't
we
lost
do.
hope, but I think that seeing whatever that storm collapse on that lake was very impressive. So I'm sure. Don't expect it. I mean, I fear that a great number of villagers were lost down in the Badenweiler, and perhaps some in whatever that beast was. But at the same time, perhaps I was wrong in placating whatever the wind brought instead of dealing with it.
It takes a
But-
big man to say that and come to those conclusions. We all make mistakes, and leadership it's a tricky business. So I have my complete faith in you to be able to continue to help these people.
Well, thank
You have my support to my very last breath. So I hope that we can get these people home safe and get them rebuilding and let's start a new chapter in my home, as well as your home.
Yes, indeed. We set out in an hour. He shouts out to the other villagers, and they don't really have any belongings, and most of them are. I mean,
Yeah.
other than what they had on them. One guy is still clutching the beer mug that he was clutching in
Pat Sigismund on the back.
in the Votenklager Tavern. He never let go of it.
I'm gonna pat Sigismund on the back and be like, you might want to tell him to pack whatever food they can, grab whatever food they can.
Okay, very well, I will. And he shouts out to them in German, grab some food, be ready to go. You see them going up and scrounging the board, all the plates and not the plates, the hunks of bread and what have you, and pieces of fruit are being shoved inside cloaks and inside shirt pockets, and the barkeep's just looking at the board getting wiped out at the moment.
It was paid for.
Okay.
I am curious if they've been getting these attacks here, similar to the other villages or not. I just don't know where I would go about finding that information out about.
Maybe the tavern keeper knows of a village elder of some sort?
Or maybe I'm always asking the tavern keeper for the local news report, but we could always find out. Maybe even from the guards or something. There's other city guards.
We are very close. I wonder if there are towns that have sided with Drusus. I wonder if there's an influence.
I don't know if they were siding with them or if they were doing the same thing that maybe the Badenweiler was giving up their people, but
To remain safe, they must have given up something.
maybe. Yeah.
I hope they don't give up any of these sausages. Have you ever had something so delicious? They didn't have these when I was a child. At least not where I was from.
Oh.
I don't even know. So who do we have the pleasure of speaking with this morning?
That doesn't sound like a thing Simon would say.
My name is John.
Oh.
Oh, so you're the infamous John.
And you are the Shining Knight from the Frozen Pass that saved Ximén. Years ago.
I was under the impression that we were going to get to speak to Ximén today. Do you know when I'm going to be able to speak to Ximén?
Maybe
I don't know whether to be
Tomorrow.
flattered or
Tomorrow. You do me a
he
favor,
is
John.
he is rested. Hallen is probably giving him a history lesson.
Okay. I was hoping that Ximén could give us a history lesson. So when Ximén makes himself available, please let me know. I'd like to speak with him.
Fair enough.
So if Halan is the other, right? Halan is it?
Yeah, Hallen.
So
Hallen,
Halan,
yeah.
he likes to use a dagger in battle. Is that right?
Oh, an arrow.
Or in a bow and arrow, right?
That's what he was trained in his youth a long time ago.
How about you? What were you trained in your youth? How are you going to be able to help us get these people back to safety? Because if you're going to be using Zymon's body, you're going to be you got to be a part of the crew.
Well,
Trouble finds us, so be prepared for trouble.
I have seen the trouble through Zymon's eyes.
Okay.
I am aware of it.
So tell me what it is that you're going to bring to the table here.
I can help you care for these people. I can help heal them both.
You can help heal them.
Both with traditional means and the grace of the mother, should she permit me. But I'd probably need Zymon's help for that. But if we get some supplies, I could use some leeches and other things to help nurse them back to health as we travel.
Okay. Who's the mother? You mentioned the mother.
The mother of God. The mother of Jesus.
Oh, okay. You talked to her.
No, I would never presume such a thing.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
But what is more divine than that gives birth to divinity?
I don't know.
I
I know nothing of
I am
divinity.
very.
Ximén has seldom seen Matthias short on words.
I'm either someone at this table is delusional, or something else is happening, and I'm not sure which is worse.
Well,
Matthias digs through his pouch and pulls out a small statuette and just stares at it and is like, "All right, this is real."
wait, what? What did he say? What real? Or is this real right now? Are you wondering if you're dreaming?
I'm just confirming that this is real. He holds up a small statuette of what looks like a stylized horse. He just says,
It's like his Inception
I
piece.
received it in a vision.
It's just scalloping.
Here, give it here. Let me see.
Wait, are you saying we're
Really?
dreaming again? I don't like when we were
Why?
dreaming the last time.
You asked me how do I know if it's real if you don't give it to me?
No, I was confirming that it is here. It is here. It is real.
But how can you be
Therefore-
sure that if you confirm it, it's real? Reality
Maybe
is
you're
subjective.
maybe you're crazy.
I am.
No, Matthias, you're fine. It's real.
I am feeling lost now.
He's definitely taken something wrong in his head. And I want to find out once I get to speak to
Someone
Ximén.
else agrees with me.
Once we can talk to Ximén, I believe we will shed some more light on the situation. But for now, John, it is. Nice to meet you, John. And I'll put up my arm, shake his hand. I'm gonna shake his hand.
Splendid.
So, John, make yourself useful. Gather up some food. Start packing up the carts. And we're hoping to speak to maybe some guards. If you see somebody, we're trying to find out some more information about these
Why don't we
frost wind
we go together?
beings. We could do that too. I just don't know where. I don't know where we should go. I don't know where to go.
Well, you said guards. Surely there's
I mean, maybe guards.
outpost. Maybe they walk the streets. Maybe a tavern that we haven't driven all the locals out of that we can ply the ears of and actually find out what is going on.
Okay. Well, let's get ready to ship out, I guess, and then if we see someone we can talk to, we can try to talk to someone outside. Is I guess I'll try the tavern keep. I guess I'll try him. I'll go up
You
towards-
approach the tavern keep. He's sitting there cleaning out some mugs. Guten Morgen, wie geht's? Good morning. How are you?
Good. I was wondering if you could tell me something about this town here. city
Mines?
here. Yeah.
It's been around for thousands of years, couple thousand years.
There's been
Not me, mind you. But the town, yeah.
Not yet.
That sounds really suspicious.
Not yet. Not yet. I think.
No,
He's a lich.
not me.
There's been lots of stories around around villages and towns around this area
Are you the boss of this
of
campaign?
like wind coming in and taking people away.
I've heard
heard
those
any
rumors.
stories?
I have not actually seen them, and I do know I've heard tales of the wind moving away from the lake and then returning to the lake, the wind and the snowstorm.
They never come to this city here.
I mean, technically the lake is adjacent to the city, but no, it's never come in here per se.
That's interesting.
That is odd.
Yeah.
Yes, this was an old Roman fortress, way back when. This was, as a matter of fact, I think it was founded by the Romans. So I don't know. We've been here a long time.
I can believe it.
Have you ever heard of the name Drusus? Is that?
Of course, I've heard of the name Drusus.
Yeah?
Everyone in town has heard of the name Drusus.
Could you tell me a little bit about Drusus? This is a
Well,
new name to
I mean,
me.
I'm not an expert. I mean, perhaps you might want to talk. He's a wiry old dude named Bartiche. He seems to have a lot of knowledge about it. He's across from the cathedral in some squalid little apartment, I believe. But he's much more of a scholar. But Drusus, there's a monument. Well, there used to be a monument anyway, out in the center of the lake. And then I'm guessing 25-ish, somewhere 20 to 30 years ago, it slowly was encased in fog and ice, and now no one goes there because it's become a very dangerous place. But I will tell you this, it's very, lean in, don't tell anyone I told you this, that if on your last night at Catholic school, and before the nuns and the priests let you go about on your lives, you have a party with all of the young lasses as well. Many of them are impressed if you can run out onto the lake and stay there for a few moments and then run back. And I guarantee you, that night will be a night to remember.
I would really not suggest that. I did that before.
Yes.
It is not.
Yeah. Some call it chicken. Have you ever heard the game chicken?
No, I've heard of the animal.
Yes. You run out onto the lake and see how long you can stay there, and everybody's as soon as you run back too quickly, they yell chicken, chicken, chicken. Of course, every once in a while, somebody becomes the chicken and gets eaten, but it doesn't happen that often. Normally, you can see the cracks coming, and
I question the structure of the families here if they're so willing to lose children.
they're not willing to lose them. This is things that youth do to get a lady, you know.
What was that gentleman's name that you mentioned?
Well, he's not going to
Not
run
to
out
change
on
the
the lake
subject.
with you.
No. What was his name?
Oh, Bartiche.
Bartiche.
He's a scholar.
The rules of courting were typically more poetic.
Well, there's that too, but you know.
I've done a lot dumber things.
And less likely.
No, probably not. Thank you for the information. I'll just leave him a gold piece.
Thank you.
For his information. That's actually pretty useful. What do you guys say we go take a walk and see if we can have a little chat with Bartiche? Bartiche?
I'm amenable.
Is that what he said? Bartiche?
Yeah, stretch my legs.
Something like that. Bartiche.
I'm sure.
Ximén, I leave you to gather the people and get them ready for travel once we return.
I'll be here, Borinth.
Okay.
And they're pretty ready. He looks over at the breakfast table. It looks like rats scurried across it and devoured everything in sight. Yes, I think we're about ready. About as ready as they will be. If you leave them here for too much longer, I'm afraid of what'll be left of this place.
Let's go find this gentleman, huh?
Mm-hmm. You venture out into the town. The cathedral itself is very, very easy to spot. It towers over the entire city. You venture out into the city and you go looking for the cathedral. You meander through the narrow streets. This is clearly a town with a little bit of money. It's not over the top, highbrow, or anything like that, but it's definitely a little bit better off. And there's the kind of a street scene with the cathedral in the background. It'll give you some idea, although the world is not black and white. Give you some idea what it looks like. You venture toward it, you find yourself in a large square.
in front of the cathedral, surrounded by rather tall buildings, which are slightly more ornate. They're not strictly utilitarian. They've taken the time to cornice work the facade of them. What are you guys doing?
Looking for the residents of Barchis.
So all around the courtyard, there's buildings. They're probably 3 to 5 stories tall. There's some have businesses on the first floor. It's a large, wide open area, pigeons landing and so forth. There's the cathedral behind you. You can see the ornately carved facade of it.
I'll start walking towards the cathedral.
Okay.
Slowly.
It was across the street from the cathedral, I think you said?
I think you said.
Right? Okay.
But I'm walking to the cathedral.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I'm looking for where I think the residents of Barchish would be. Like, he gave me a description. I can't remember what it was.
He said a squalid little apartment.
Oh, okay. All right.
Across from the cathedral.
What are the shops? What kind of stores are they? You said they're like shops.
They're all different sorts of things. Some are tailors. You might see an armorer. You might see some painters. A bakery. Some food vendors.
Bread.
Making the bread.
Rapidly making bread. Maybe
Okay.
a brewer. A myriad of shops.
I'll approach one of the shops. I guess I'll go into the baker.
Okay.
Let's go into the baker's. So I got my baker's apprentice here.
I am a master when it comes to dealing the.
Pull the top one of the cards out of the middle deck and hand it to me, please. Okay, you go to the baker.
Walk into the baker shop, whatever it is. Does it smell good in here?
Smells wonderful. There's all different types of loaves. There's sweet breads. There's big, thick breads. There's breads with meat, with cheese,
Ooh, breads with meat.
all different kinds.
Okay. I'll look for whoever's working there.
There's a baker. He's back there. He's kneading away at the bread.
Think you can do it better, Nikolai?
I could show him a thing or two.
Yeah.
It's in the wrist how you twist.
Yeah. Hello, sir.
Yes. What is it?
I'm interested in getting some cheesy bread and some meat bread.
Okay.
And I'm also curious if you happen to know where I can find. Oh my God, I forgot his name. Bartish. A gentleman named Bartish.
Oh yeah.
You know where I can find him?
I know where he is.
Oh, can you tell me where? And I'd like to purchase some of this bread.
Sure.
My friend here is an excellent baker. You should see him work a mound of dough.
It is true.
Yeah.
I can make the yeast rise as if. I don't want to get into it, you know.
I know. I'm a horrible baker. Just say it. I know.
I would never assume so much of
I'm
someone's
just not
profession.
good enough. I know. I've heard it before.
Well, I haven't even tasted your bread yet, so maybe if you
Okay.
could get me some of that bread with cheese and bread with meat,
Okay.
and let me know where I
If
can
you
find
don't
Bartish.
like it, I understand.
I'm sure it's wonderful.
Here
Looks like
you
you
go.
take your time with it. It's good.
I normally ask a gold, but a silver will be all right.
Okay, I'll give you silver. Here you go. Here's your
There
silver.
you go. Thank
And,
you.
I would. This is delicious.
No, don't lie to me.
No, I'm already eating another
I
piece.
hear that all the time, and I know everybody's lying to me.
Is it actually delicious?
Yeah, it's probably pretty good.
Okay,
Good bread.
okay.
I'm eating it. It's very good bread. This is good. This is actually excellent. I can't wait to dip this into a stew tonight. So Bartish, you know where I can find him?
Yes, I do.
Would you be able to tell me?
Yes, of course I can. I know.
Gosh, I love
Nobody's looking for me. They're always looking for somebody else.
Well, technically I came into the bread and bought some bread before
This is
I did anything. So I looked
I
for
know,
you
but
first.
you were just doing that to be nice.
I could have gone to the armorer. I
This
could
is
have gone
true.
to the tailor.
The armor doesn't really suit
And
you.
everybody
Well,
goes
I was
to the
looking for the
armorer
baker.
to get
I was
food.
looking- Yeah, I was looking for bread. I was looking for the baker, the one
Oh.
responsible for this bread.
Okay. Bartiche is next door on the 4th floor.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I know you won't come again, but thank you.
Probably.
You never know.
Probably, yeah. But I appreciate you having realistic expectations.
Yeah,
Yes. Better
it's
to
good to set
have
reasonable.
better to have low standards than no standards. That's
Yeah,
what I
I
always
can't even
say.
understand. I cannot even understand what this man is saying, and I can already tell that this is a morose conversation.
Yes, I know.
Okay,
Sad man.
I'm out the door.
It's just
Gloomy. That's funny. Okay, I'm gonna head next door.
Okay.
Did anybody see where Ximén went? Did we lose Ximén? Were you with us?
I
or
don't know. Where did
No,
he go?
No,
he went to the
He just
cathedral.
walked away.
I started walking in all towards the cathedral.
Okay. We're going to take a quick break. You're watching the Carpathian Adventure on Seven Sided Die, and we will be right back. You're watching the Carpathian Adventure on Seven Sided Die. The party is in Mainz in the square outside the cathedral. I think they're going in slightly different directions. We'll find out here. We rejoin them. Guys, what are you doing?
As we walk outside, I'm going to look to see if I still see Ximén walking slowly across the street towards the cathedral.
Do we?
Yeah, you probably see me slowly walking and looking up in amazement at the.
You didn't get very far in that time, Mikolash. I think we can probably go talk to this guy and then. But I'm gonna holler out, Ximén!
Oh no,
John!
There we go. Yeah.
Do you want to speak to this man and learn about Drusus with us?
Have you ever seen anything so wonderful?
Seen many like it. I'm sure this one is.
These are the houses they built now for him?
We can check it out after if you want. But first, we need to take care of some other business.
We're just shouting right now. We should have a closed conversation. This is kind of rude.
Yeah.
Start kind of hobbling back towards you guys.
Waiting.
Yeah. Like toe tapping.
Where do we have to go?
4th floor is your building.
Stairs?
Yeah.
Okay. You go first. I'll catch up.
Your old age tendency is not a physicality. It's in your head. Ximén is a young man, and he's an adventurer.
It is true, but
he's
sometimes
strong of body enough.
The mind affects the body
Well,
adversely.
overcome.
I'll try to stand up.
There you go. That's
a
a
little
good
straighter.
start. That's a start. That's a start. Remember, the body is strong. And then we go in and try to find our way in. I guess.
Okay, you go up to the facade of this building. It's stucco covered with, there's one door with a shop on the lower level. And then off to the side, there's another door that pretty clearly goes to upstairs units or apartments, if you will. You check the door, it is open. And you go up the stairs, you pass one floor, and it seems fairly nice. And then as you go up to the next floor, it seems a little ricketier. And then as you go up to the 4th floor, the railing feels like it hasn't been maintained very well. It's chipping paint and what have you. And it doesn't smell super clean, and you can smell the stuff coming up. And then you find yourself on a landing with like a railing that if you push too hard, it would just tumble down the steps below. And there is a door there in front of you.
I'm fighting the urge to just do that.
Not the code, for sure. Not the code.
Simon leans on the rail because he's
No,
tired.
don't lean. I'll go knock on the door.
Yes, who's there?
We come to speak with you about Drusus.
About Drusus. Oh, well, everybody knows Drusus. What do you want from me?
My name is Borinth. We're looking to hear the history of Drusus in this city.
Butter him up. Tell him he's a wise scholar.
We heard you were a very wise scholar, and you could educate us on the history of the
Toss me a card.
of the fog,
This one?
the icy fog.
Yes, please, tell me.
No, we're here for you to tell us.
Oh, okay.
We have great interest.
Toss me another one too, please.
Okay, very well.
He comes to the door.
Oh, he comes to the door. And what do you...
He opens the door ever so slightly, and you see him peer slightly out. And
What is it you want to know?
We want to know everything about Drusus. We want to know what is the source of the fog and the ice on the lake. We want to know...
Drusus is the ultimate evil. He's a demon with horns that exceed the pillar, the tops of the cathedrals. He is the ultimate evil. Is that what you wanted to hear?
Well, we want to know more than that. We understand that he's evil.
Do you believe me?
Of course we do.
I do not believe him.
You're talking nonsense.
Wait, do you guys understand what he's saying?
he's speaking in adventure.
We've seen the
understand
agents of evil.
If you have
My eyes are open.
If you've seen the agents.
So maybe best we come in and
Yeah,
we talk.
come in.
And you go inside, there's literally like 15 cats running around all over the place, and they scurry. And you do everything you can to avoid the burning sensation in your eyes, that ever so pleasant smell of dried urine everywhere. And he says, have a seat anywhere. Have a seat anywhere you like. And you see like several cushioned couches that the cats have obviously been living upon, and
I've been sitting all day.
Stacks of books.
I've been sitting all day. I'll sit.
Yeah, it's good for my circulation in my legs.
I will start as well.
I fall heavily into a couch.
And you sit down. You feel like a lump underneath one of your cheeks. And you brush it off. It's dried, but it was obviously a turd that had been sitting there for a little while.
And he's like, what can I tell you about this evil demon?
How long has that ice fog been out there on the lake?
Oh, that ice fog has been exactly there 32 years, 7 months, and 8 days. Look here.
He pulls back the curtain and he has them all marked.
See? I've been keeping very, very careful track.
Has anyone ever seen Drusus?
Well, I'm just told that he's a demon, mind you, and that his horns are as tall as the cathedral spires. But no, I mean, he's dead. He's been dead for several thousand years.
I mean, that's not entirely true. I mean, we've seen him because there's a statue of him on top of the monument out in the middle of the lake. Unfortunately, it's completely surrounded by fog right now.
Well, does the statue depict him with horns?
No, it depicts him as a Roman centurion.
So then, it seems your information is ridiculous at best. Are you sure you're actually knowledge on the subject?
Well, I mean, I can't tell you for sure. I mean, I haven't seen Drusus myself, but I've been very, very studied about Drusus. I know much about him. I mean, what is he? I mean, he was a Roman centurion. As a matter of fact, I have this book over here.
And he runs over and he grabs a book and he pulls it off the shelf and he says,
This book is a very ancient book. It's called About the Life of the Caesars. Have you ever heard of a Caesar? Caesar is a leader of
salad
Rome.
dressing.
I'm not.
Yes.
Yeah. I wasn't gonna do it if you didn't.
It's commonly called the 12 Caesars as well. And it includes biographies of Julius Caesar and the first, 11 emperors. It was written by somebody named Gaius Suetonius Tranquillus. Have you ever heard of him? No, I didn't think so. But it talks about.
Did he say Suetonius?
Gaius.
Did he say Suetonius?
Yes, I did say Gaius Suetonius Tranquillus. Yes, I did. It was written by him.
Well, the middle
John,
name sounds familiar, but I don't think I've ever heard of a
do you
Tranquillus.
think that we could speak with Ximén now? He's very good with these books. I have a feeling if he was to take a look at this book, he'd be able to draw a lot of information from it.
Well, I mean, I think we're really harshly.
Mikolash, I think if Ximén was able to read the book, it might.
You know what? Fine. That's okay. We all have a role to play. I'll just need dough. Fine.
You can take a look at the book if that's what you want to do. Look at the book.
I wouldn't mind if you just looked to me to read books a little bit more.
Okay, absolutely, yes. I need to include.
We could take the book with us.
Oh, I thought
It's his book.
that's
called stealing, I think.
I don't know how it was in your time, but that is very presumptuous to just enter
do
someone's
you
home.
plan on returning the book?
Perhaps you would donate it as a gift to the church.
Wow, the world has really changed for you.
Would you like to donate this book to the church?
Donate? I just met you a moment ago, and like you were skulking up to steal one of my cats. But I.
Okay. Well, anyway, let's continue. We got a little off track there.
Yeah.
Just take the book with us.
We encountered some Centurion soldiers they travel like the wind. They travel in the skies of the wind, and they pledge their allegiance to Drusus.
Really?
Have you heard any such stories like that? Has anyone from this city been taken away by a
No,
an
but I
icy
have heard
wind
that
and-
others have been taken from other cities.
But they never come to this city.
Well, this was a Roman fortification a long time ago. You know, I mean, in Drusus, he fought many battles with German tribes, and he was based out of here. He had 5 legions at one point, and auxiliaries, many Germans as well, who fought alongside him. He set out from, I think it was Vetera on the Rhine, and he ascended up the river Lippe and encountered the Tensitari and the Usipetes, and he defeated them, and then he went on to the Vera Valley and decided to turn back for a season. I could go on for hours about his campaigns. I know very, very knowledgeable. A lot of it is in this book. Drusus, he served Caesar Augustus from, I think it was 23 September of 63 to 19 August of 14. I could be wrong. Exactly. And that Caesar was also known as Octavian. Perhaps you've heard of him.
Could you tell us maybe the history of the statue that's out on the lake?
Oh, of course I can.
How long has that been there?
No, of course I can. Well, that statue has been there roughly 1,300 and...
Amazing.
6 years.
I'm curious about the Tensitari and the Usapeti. You wouldn't be able to tell from my age, but I actually have a helmet of theirs from their campaigns.
Oh, I am impressed. And did you wear that? Did you wear that into battle?
Absolutely. Multiple times now.
Were you a Roman warrior? You aged very well.
I couldn't tell you if it was when I donned the helmet, but it's something about it. It makes me feel stronger than I am, smarter than I am.
Oh.
I'm pretty impressive. I've also punched the storm away. I have quite a resume of accomplishments.
I am indeed impressed.
Yeah.
You're punching a storm. Oh.
So maybe if there's ever a book written about me, you could catalog all the events of my life. And maybe make etchings into the walls and such about the deeds I do.
Hold that thought then. He runs and grabs some paper. What's your name?
I am Mikolash.
Mikolash. And you punched a storm.
Oh yes, I punched it away.
Do you remember what day, month,
Mikolash
year
the
it was when
baker.
you punched a storm?
Oh, it was yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yes.
Oh, that's easy enough.
Yes.
Yeah, very well. Yeah, I wrote that down. And where are you from?
Oh, from the
You don't know.
from Romania.
I mean, it was
from
there.
Romania. It was an area of travel, but yeah, I've been around all over. It's really tough to say, where I began, but the mountains of Moldavino were a home to me for a time. I'd done a little bit of training, and then I traveled all around, and it's really tough to say.
I'm impressed. What can I say? I'm very, very impressed. I don't know if I've ever met anyone from Romania. No.
Beautiful lands, lots of plains, a lot of stuff to see, some farmlands. There's some folk tales of, I don't want to get into anything dangerous to scare you, but there's some very scary folk tales, and I've conquered many of them, so you don't have to worry, but yeah, that's a little bit about me,
There's very scary people in this town, by the way.
Oh yeah?
Yes, indeed.
Scarier than me, you think?
I don't mean scary like that. I mean like they have demons in them or something like that. They're all possessed.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes. Is that like the horns that reach up to the spires? Like is this like a true thing?
Well, those are true too, but these ones, they hide it. They don't let it out in the open. But
How can you be sure if they don't let them out in the open?
That's why I stay in here with my cats. They're not going to catch me, those demons.
You're smart.
There
Smart
you
beyond
go.
your years.
Ask him
What
if
else
there
do you want to know about
are any
Drusus?
buildings built on the Roman ruins
Okay.
in the city.
Are
Maybe
there-
that will lead us
yeah.
somewhere.
Are there any ruins that were within this city, or buildings within the city that were built upon any Roman ruins?
Well, the whole city was. Well, I mean, I think the city's outgrown it now. But the city, the foundation of it, was a Roman fortress itself, originally.
Where would maybe like the centermost?
Probably the courtyard,
Okay.
right outside the window.
Okay. If I tell you something, would you be able to keep it a secret?
Of course.
We're thinking of.
Oh.
We're thinking of putting an end to Drusus's impact on the surrounding villages.
Well, he's dead. But I mean, he's a demon. But he's dead. And he's a demon.
The forces that we've gone up against claim they pledge their allegiance to Drusus. So something must be controlling them. Something must be bringing those Roman legionnaires back.
The Roman legionnaires are marching?
Yes, they are marching
I knew it.
hidden by wind and snow. You ever see?
I've
have you seen those?
the wind and snow, yes. I look out my window
Yes,
and I see
those
it.
are Roman legionnaires,
The wind and the snow.
and
are
they're
the Roman-
traveling to villages, stealing people away, and bringing them back to the lake.
And what do they do with them? They eat
That's
them?
what we're trying to find out. I believe they turn them into more legionnaires.
Then they eat them.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I can't confirm or deny that. I mean, it makes for a better story, but we're looking to put an end to this, and that's why we're trying to find out more information about Drusus and how we could stop this from occurring.
Drusus. He was the son of Livia Drusilla and the legal stepson of the Emperor Augustus, no less. He was also brother to Emperor Tiberius, father of Emperor Claudius and General Germanicus. Have you ever heard of Germanicus? A very famous general. Paternal grandfather too, no less, Caligula. That should tell you a lot right there. That was a very twisted man. And the maternal great-grandfather of Emperor Nero himself. So he fought battles, he killed lots of people, and...
Are there any like myths or stories or tales that have been told about him, about maybe powers beyond the grave?
Powers beyond the grave. Well, his persona was so strong that his soldiers worshipped him. They thought him a god. Well, he was in effect a god. I mean, he was blood to the Caesars, and the Caesars were gods. And and this should ring, much like our beloved Barbarossa, who I'm sure you've heard of, King Barbarossa,
Yes.
who unfortunately died a rather ignominious death after he fell from his horse in a small shallow river and drowned himself. But
He's not dead.
That may not be entirely true, but continue.
well, Drusus was returning from his advance to the Elbe when he fell from his horse too. He didn't fall in a puddle of water, at least I don't think so. But that would make for a very good story, though, if he did. He lingered on for about a month, at which point he died. They erected the monument out there. All of the legionnaires built the monument. And stood there he's been standing there for thousands of years.
Where is his final resting place?
I suspect it's in the monument.
Was he buried with his effects?
Well, I mean, I wasn't there.
Right, but maybe you'd heard. Or maybe if there was anything that survived.
What happened 30 years ago to change things?
That's a good question.
Thousands of years of nothing. And
Maybe
suddenly,
maybe someone disturbed his resting place.
perhaps.
What
Maybe.
made him think that the war wasn't over? What made him think that 30 years ago? I don't know.
Was there any large event around the area that had happened about the same time as 30 years ago?
Doing the fog and the ice.
Yeah.
took over
Well,
the
there
lake?
was some, you know, I was a younger scholar at the time, still very up there in age, but there was doing some digging around the monument, and some of the water started rising, and there are these markings on the monument that people were trying to read, and I've never actually seen them myself, but they, I don't know, it was around the same time, and then they quickly left, and those that could leave and escaped from the monument and came back here and went on their own ways.
New game plan. Okay.
Get more sausage.
Get more sausage. Yeah, that goes without saying. Okay. Do you guys need to hear anything else? This smell in here is just it's really powerful. I recommend opening some windows, maybe getting someone to come in here, maybe clean up a little for you. Yeah, no, trust me,
No.
You might have more company if
I
you
took
just-
vows of poverty and nothing ever smelled this bad.
Yeah. You hear that vow of poverty smells better than this.
Demons will not come in here with cats, with all of these cats.
Oh, is
That
what
is
it
true. Yeah, demons cannot
I
cross.
guess you might want to get better, maybe something like to absorb some of the cat urine, like maybe have them go in something that.
Maybe instead of so many small cats, one big cat.
Yeah, localize the dropping and such. I like that.
But then it's just bigger. It's just a bigger puddle. You know, but if
Easier
if
to
you-
easier to find.
Yeah.
If you like found some like wood chips or something and put them in like a little bucket or something, and then it gets cats to urinate in the wood chips, and you can just take the wood chips out and throw the wood chips away.
Then you gotta risk going outside.
Yeah, that
in
sounds
England
like
with the
witchcraft.
demons.
Just throw them out the window, maybe. I don't know. Let somebody else outside clean it up. I don't know.
Maybe someone could make a pulley system.
I
Of
definitely
sorts, so you
recommend
can
opening
bring
some
the wood
windows
chips
up.
up through the window, and then.
I'll think about it. I'm not sure I'm ready for that.
Thank you very much
Yeah.
for your information. Here, I have this this cheesy bread that I got from the baker.
Oh,
Would
I
you
just
like
want to.
some?
I just want to take a piece.
Oh
before-
yeah.
I'm
I mean, I
sorry,
ate
I'm-
half of it already, but it's very good bread. Would you like this?
Where did you?
Here, I'll
I've
just
never
leave it
seen
with
bread
you.
with cheese in it before.
I don't know what you're looking at. I ate it all.
Is he okay?
I mean, I ate it and it was great. He's good.
I just ate it in
He's
front
good.
of you.
He's
I
good
mean,
baker.
You know, sometimes it takes days for the effects to happen.
oh,
You know, I have a very fast metabolism, so I would know already.
yeah, and I mean, look at my helmet. You think anyone's
Yeah.
going to stop me?
Yeah.
Much less some cheesy bread.
It's a very good bread. It's very, very good. You could probably definitely.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
One of the cats goes over and is sniffing it and tearing off a piece.
He is. It must be okay.
Yeah.
If
It's
Lilac
really weird,
likes
but
it.
Okay.
Yes.
Never seen a cat eat bread before. But, okay. Thank you very much for your information.
Oh.
I gotta get out of here, guys. It just,
Yeah,
the smell is just awful.
please.
Okay. I mean, I've been inside a giant ice monster and it smelled better than in here.
Okay.
You guys leave?
I guess, right? I don't know what else.
Yes.
Yes.
I think we got a
I
lot.
don't know what else there is to do.
I think we got a lot out of
Okay.
that guy.
All right. We promised John that we would visit the cathedral. You guys want to head that way?
I think
We
it
can-
is time we get back to the villagers. We told them we were leaving in an hour.
I was thinking about this, right? So, what if we were to send the villagers with the supplies back, and we can maybe stay here a little longer? And the reason being is if Juice's monument, it's right here. Instead of riding for 3 days and then riding for 3 days back, we could maybe rest up here for the week and then see what other information we can build up, gather up, rest for a week. I think the village. I feel as though we struck a pretty heavy blow on Drusus's forces, at least for now. Maybe they could be able to travel safely enough with Sigismund and the carts. They're pretty well supplied and stocked.
And they, even though they are just villages, they are a formidable force. There are 30 of them.
Right.
They've been a bit battle-hardened.
They should be able to defend themselves against common bandits, you would hope.
Yeah.
Sigismund alone is probably worth 3 men. He's about half of one, so it's really good math if you think about it.
Carry the 4.
I don't know. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. We could shelter here for a week, rest up, investigate some further and learn a little bit more of the history. And I'm thinking we go and investigate the shrine itself, but we got to go out on the lake and we got to be rested up.
I like it. I think that would be okay.
I feel confident that Sigismund will get them there.
I am less confident that they will leave without you.
I think I've already set some pieces of that in motion that they will follow Sigismund. So
I am sure your words can
these are
raise
also,
their spirits enough to get them out the door.
These are free men as well. They have the choice to stay or go. It's entirely their choice. So let's go talk to them and see, and then we'll come back. I promise, and visit the cathedral.
That would be nice.
Okay.
So you head toward the tavern that you
to
guys were staying at?
Yep, to meet up with everyone.
Understood. You head on into the tavern. It's a pretty
I'm
busy
there
about
may be
this
like
point.
already with the carts are there and the horses and they're
Packing up
packed
supplies.
and they're packing everything up. Maybe
Yeah,
there's
you guys took quite a while. You did some things there in the square and what have you. And there, 2 carts are lined up. Not carts, they're wagons. You see them. They're literally about 15 feet long, about 8 feet wide, flat bottom with tilted sides that come up the length of it. And then a space for somebody to sit up near the front. 2 horses mounted to a rig. I don't know horse nomenclature, but mounted to a rig at the front. They're 4-wheeled wagons, big tall wheels. The wheels themselves are probably about 4.5 to 5 foot tall. So it's a very sturdy utilitarian wagon. Nothing fancy, it's not painted or anything like that, but it's a solid stout wagon. It doesn't look anything like Baldur's traveling menagerie wagon, if you will. They're 2 horses. They're solid, sturdy horses, but they're not draft horses or what have you. So they're going to be able to make okay speed, but it's not going to be a race. It'll be like a quick walk, if you will.
Okay.
You go inside.
Well,
everyone
we're
is
looking for Sigismund.
okay. Well, Sigismund is not outside, but
Okay. We'll go up to Sigismund. Sigismund.
he's inside the.
Oh
tavern.
yeah. I'll go in.
Okay.
I'll go in looking for him.
He's inside. Yes.
There's been a change of plans.
Okay. Okay. What now?
I think it'll be best if you were to lead your people back to the Baden-Baden. Myself, Ximén, John, whatever he is, right? Ximén, Mikolash, Mattias, we're gonna remain here. I think if we stay here, we have a good chance of possibly ending all this Drusus wind attacking.
Who's
nonsense.
Drusus?
Apparently, that's who the wind creatures, the Centaurians that have been attacking and taking villagers. That's who they pledged their allegiance to. So we plan to try to end this here, but we need time to rest. And I think it's a great opportunity for you to lead these people back and band them together and begin something new back in the Baden-Baden.
Of course, Boris. I would be remiss if I did not say that those who saw you fight will regret, the lot of you fight, will regret you're not coming back to the Badenweiler. but I think they'll be glad to know that you're going to finish whatever happened. And when you do finish it, will you be back?
Yes,
Very well.
absolutely. We will be back.
Well, then I wish you Godspeed.
Give him the good old warrior's handshake.
Yes. He turns to those in the crowd. Grab the rest of your food. We're going to be leaving now. We've got our wagons outside. Borinth and Matthias and Mikolosh and whoever this is over here today, and Pandora and Boulder and a lot of them are going to address whatever has been taking our villagers. And they're going to finish this once and for all. Or they're going to die trying, even if it means their bones are ground into the dirt in front of one another, and there's nothing left.
I'd have it no other way.
Yes. There's cheers that go up.
Honestly, I've always suspected that would go out in a violent manner. It's just the way of things in my line of work.
Yes.
I mean, really, we're just all dust in the wind. So.
Let's not start getting all existential. I don't need to think that hard right now.
He's probably never seen Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Probably not. Can you get 3? Can you do 3 in one night? Is the question.
Yeah, so I just done it not too long ago, actually. Okay.
That's all we are.
So we're just going to continue our long rest. That's the plan?
Yeah, we're seeing them off. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see them off. We're going to stay here resting. We can go visit the cathedral once they take off. And
They all wander outside, and the wagons mount up, and you can see them. He says, yeah, he climbs up onto the seat and helps as many people up in as possible. And he goes, hey, you won't think less of me if I ride on a wagon here rather than walking alongside then, will you?
not at all.
Very well. Last thing I need is another insult from you lot. And we'll see you in the Badenweiler, hopefully soon.
Yes.
Thank you all.
Thank
A little
you.
more than a week's time.
We'll see you there.
It has been an honor still to stand alongside you, Sigismund.
You
With luck,
too.
we shall meet again and perhaps share another drink.
Yes, perhaps in Anatolia or in the Orakar again someday.
Perhaps.
Yes, very well.
Sigismund,
Yes,
be vigilant on the road.
of course.
Always keep an eye out.
Of course.
Take care of these people.
Thank you, Boris. And with that, he turns and he kicks the wagons into gear and they head down the road.
Just before he goes away, I'm going to say, Sigismund,
What?
just in case you need it.
I
I just gave him an inspiration.
I'm not sure what to do with this. Do I toss it to the gods?
If something doesn't go your way, you just put it out on the table.
Just throw it at it.
You just
throw it at it one more time.
And it'll make it all better.
Very well, Boris. And here's one back at you then. And with that, he rides off. And you lot are standing in the city outside of the tavern. What are you guys doing?
Is it too early to check out the monument?
On the lake?
Oh, it's on the lake. Maybe
It's
not.
on-
Maybe not.
No, not. It's way too
it's
early.
on-
Maybe it's a little bit too
It's
early.
on the
Yes,
lake.
yes.
Let's go take a stroll. We'll go just walk around the city. Let's go towards the courtyard, right? And we can look at the cathedral.
Yeah. Maybe get you another sausage.
I want to hear a little bit more about John.
And any other.
Wow. Look at you.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. I think it's a good idea to get to know all of the shades of Ximén.
Maybe.
Well, when you say it like that, maybe not. I'm
As long as
hesitant.
it's not
Maybe,
50. So that's weird.
50 Shades of Ximén.
We don't want to.
Do we?
No, we don't want to go there. No.
Yeah, yeah.
Nope. Nope. No, thank you.
Nope. right, so we start walking,
Yeah.
meandering the city.
You meander through the city. They're relatively tight quarters moving through the city. Well, you can see kind of what some of it looks like there. Tall buildings, some mud and daub, stone and heavy beams with stucco in between them. But most of them on the facades that face the street are very, very like somebody's tried to make them aesthetically pleasing and ornate rather than just utilitarian. Typically moving through the streets, the bottom floors are shops. It's not the big... You've been to Constantinople and to some very big Venice. And you may not have been there, but I know Mattias has. Those are huge cities. This is a big city, but it's not that grand by any extreme. The streets are paved with cobbles as opposed to dirt, although on your way up here, most of the roads coming up from the Badenweiler were dirt until you approached that one large city that you passed on the Rhine, and from about that point north, the roads started to become cobbled. And you suspect they are old Roman roads, that have been around for a very, very, very long time. You meander through the city. You see lots of shops. You eventually find yourself in a large square outside the cathedral. There's people coming and going, pigeons flying by. The cathedral itself, a large, relatively ornate structure with a single tower and a conical top to it. The facade of it has a large entranceway that is carved on either side of it. The doors are open at the moment. It's not as big as some of the cathedrals in some other places you've seen, but it's still a fairly decent-sized cathedral. And then you're in the same square you were, where there was the baker, and where you went to the apartment above with Bartiche.
Well, I'm going to go and look a little at the cathedral and pray some.
Do you mind if we join you, John?
You are more than welcome. I know you do not believe what is in those walls.
No, but it looks like a beautiful building.
But you are welcome. Always welcome.
Can you, as we take our walk over, can you tell us a little bit more about John?
Well,
Tell me...
What do you want to know about me?
Tell me how you came into possession of this book that seems to have entrapped Ximén. And yourself, right? You also have been entrapped in this book? Am I understanding?
I think trapped is a loaded word, but...
Well, if Ximén...
I cannot get out, as
Okay.
none of us can, so I guess it might be accurate.
If Ximén didn't come into possession of this book, you didn't have a body to come out and explore the world with, correct? So you
Correct,
you
but
depended
not
on-
all that have taken possession of the book have become connected to it as Ximén has, and
Okay.
I have.
How did you become connected to it?
I was given it by another. I knew the power that it had. I never sought the power. I just sought to be a caretaker, which is why I joined with it almost at my death. That is why my spirit...
Joined with it?
Like all the other souls that are with it.
How did they join? How did you join with it?
I am not really sure. I think something divine
Okay.
continued my stewardship over it.
Okay. And there's no way out? I mean, there's no way to regain your freedom, or...
There may
Did
be
your
a
body-
way to pass on.
What happened to your body when you joined it? Did your body... Because you're now in Zymon's body.
My body died over 300 years ago.
So when you joined to the book, your body on that spot died.
I think
No, I stayed with it for a while, and when I passed naturally.
And there was others that...
And there was somebody that
Similar to
took
what
the book
Ximén-
on after me. And
Okay. So there was... So similar, you came in and out of others'
yeah,
bodies.
other people have come into possession of it, and some with charitable means, some with less than charitable means.
Okay.
and motives.
What happens if the body dies? I'm sure that's happened, right?
It has happened. We all stay in the book until
What
it
is it
is
like
found
inside
again.
the book? Do you have a body? Do you have is it like?
I feel a sense of self and proportion, but I obviously do not have a body. It's almost as if we are in a space with each other. Most of the spirits no longer want to be engaged. They have fallen by the wayside over the years. Some are driven mad instantaneously when they come into contact with it and have to be shuttled off. I am able to soothe most of the souls. Hallen, he knows more about the book than I ever did. He studied it rigorously.
Have you ever wanted to be freed from it? Have you ever wanted to allow your soul to pass on? Because from my understanding is your religion with the mother and
very, very true. To pass into the afterlife
right.
is something, but within here is a divinity also that I cannot explain.
What if there is a heaven waiting for you?
I am sure my time will come when I will be there.
Well, it hasn't for how many years you've been in there? How many years you've been part of the book? 1,000 years or so?
I died in the year 1023.
It's over like 300 years?
Hallen is much older.
To not move on to the afterlife, it seems, my people, we look forward to the time where we pass on to the afterlife. That's why we try to, achieve our honor here on this.
This is a common trait among many cultures.
Yeah. Seems for such a religious man to be denied passage to your heaven. Seems like a crime to me.
Perhaps this is the task that has been
perhaps
put on me.
Perhaps.
Who am I to?
Do you get the choice?
Do any of us?
I believe so. I'm not. I have chosen not to be trapped inside.
I do not believe so. I believe that all our fates are ordained from the beginning.
Okay.
Ximén may not believe that.
What does Ximén believe?
We'll have to ask him. This may have changed his mind a little.
I've been waiting to ask him.
I promise you, he will be back tomorrow.
Okay.
When the sun rises, he will be whole.
Okay. I hope so. Oh, let's go. By now, I'd imagine I'm thinking we're just like strolling, like talking as we're strolling.
I understand. You meander your way across the courtyard. It is rather large courtyard, all cobbled, and you come to the entranceway into the church. It's not a large set of steps. It's literally just two stone steps up, and there before you are these huge wooden doors that look like they're a couple 100 years old, with thick wrought iron bands on it that are ornately filigreed themselves with curled wrought iron handles, and the doors are open, and you can go in if you wanted, or not.
Push open the doors for Ximén or John, whatever.
They are open.
Amazing.
It's weird that there's a flute player in there.
Yeah.
Just waiting
It
for
wasn't
you.
supposed to be.
You walk in and
He's good though. I like him. I think he's great.
Suddenly crouching tiger.
He smiles and he starts playing again. And you meander inside. It is a large open space. There are no modern pews. It's just a large open space with alcoves along either side, with little niches, if you will. Not niches, but other sanctuaries, I guess you might call them. I'm not sure what the exact term is. And before you get up to the nave up at the far end, which has an altar. And it's just wide open at the time. There are a few people in there praying and moving from stations with candles and going around the entire cathedral on the columns that separate the niches from the main part of the cathedral are the Stations of the Cross mounted onto the columns themselves. What are you guys doing?
I'm gonna seek out one of the naves that has something to the Mother Mary.
Okay.
To go and pray.
It's not very hard to find something. You very easily find a statue to her.
And I'll just go and quietly pray while
Okay.
everyone else is walking around.
I'm gonna walk around the outside and look for anything Roman. Look for any maybe any symbols, that may be Roman. Looking for maybe any side doors, or maybe doors into a back room, or doors into a stairway doors down into a cellar, or something along those lines.
You go up toward the nave itself, and on one side you look off, you do see a set of stairs going down.
Okay. I'm just gonna look over at Mikolash. Are you gonna stay with Simon, or do you want to come investigate with me?
I'll investigate.
Okay. John, we will be back soon. Enjoy your time.
I can come with you if you like.
Oh, of course. I didn't want to interrupt your prayers. So please come with.
She will be here when I come back.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go walk down towards the stairs. I'm just strolling around, looking around, seeing what I see.
Does everyone have their eyes on us? Is everyone intently watching us that I would notice?
You glance around. Roll a perception check.
First roll of the night.
Oh, that was a natural 20.
Natural 20.
Whoa.
Does a 28? Do I see anything with the 28?
28.
Yeah, it's like the Matrix.
Crumb.
You see the code of the Matrix.
I know everything.
All ones and zeros.
I know
ones and zeros everywhere.
how to knead bread.
Those are the same words written on the inside of my helmet.
Yeah.
Okay. You are utterly...
Some of them changed intermittently to Chinese characters or hieroglyphs.
Yeah.
You are utterly convinced that no one is watching you.
I'm slightly disappointed. I'm just going to stow it. Just going to put it down.
But you are positive that those you glance around, everybody seems to be in their own world, but those who are here, kind of separated from what everybody else is doing, just seem indifferent to what everybody else is doing.
Just to be clear, I have no idea what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I'm just looking to see if maybe there's some, like you were mentioning before, some Roman artifacts or Roman something that's buried underneath this cathedral. Maybe there's catacombs. Maybe there's something that's going to lead us out to this. I have no idea.
Central location of the...
I have no idea what I'm doing.
It makes sense. This is...
So I'll continue to look. Or go on down there. And,
Okay. You venture on down, and it goes down a set of stairs, and you find yourself in a low-ceilinged, cool room. There are two torches on the far wall, and then going. It's like it was cut out of sandstone, and then going as you go down, and then the two hallways turn off on either side, down to the right and to the left behind you. So you come down this set of steps. You're in a room, probably 15 feet-ish by 15 feet-ish. Low ceiling and with two torches, and then you can turn right or left.
Odd and suspicious. Very odd and suspicious.
Not really. It's put stuff like this under buildings all the time?
Just my thoughts.
I ask you, should we continue to rest and not put ourselves through such possibly strenuous activities at this point? Or we could investigate and pick up on that afterwards, maybe.
The place that we're in is just like catacomb-ish.
Just a catacomb.
Roll a history check.
Yeah.
Like sand. I'm thinking if you said sandstone, it's like it's.
Sandstone is old though. I'm curious.
16.
Is this John?
Yeah.
Is John?
Oh, maybe he's not proficient, so maybe just a 7.
Oh, okay, maybe am I thinking somebody else?
That's the other guy.
Oh, okay.
Do you have
No.
separate character sheets?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Or
I'm
don't
just
tell
curious.
him.
Or I
No, you
won't
don't
tell
have to tell me. I'm just curious. I'm just curious if it changes your stats
No.
or something.
No, not really.
Unless that's a metagame. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
it's all good.
curious.
It's all good. It's all good. You're watching the Carpathian Adventure on Seven Sided Die, and we will be right back.
God, I have pee so bad.
Welcome back. You're watching the Carpathian Adventure on Seven Sided Die, and the party is in a cathedral in Mainz, about to perhaps explore something underneath it, and we'll find out more here. Okie doke. So you're underneath in this kind of sandstone carved room. What are you guys doing?
Hey, Mattias, how healthy are you feeling?
Well, How many what kind of rests have we gotten again?
None.
A
We're in the
short
middle.
rest?
No, we're in the middle of a long rest. There's been no short rest. Unless you didn't want to take a long rest, you wanted to just take a short rest. But I thought you were out of.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Everybody's out of hit die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except this guy with 1 hit die.
Yeah, I leveled up immediately.
Yeah, I'm out of hit dice. And I am at 24 hit points.
Not bad.
Do we investigate
And
this
my
home?
life is countably, so I might be forgetting something.
We can come back. I mean, we don't. I mean,
We can come back.
but you don't want to.
You should come back when Ximén is back.
Okay.
And maybe you don't look so beaten up.
Okay. I really want to go down there and see what's going on.
We can.
If you really wanted to, we've still got a little bit left. You could make us pass so quietly we'd almost pass without a trace left behind. For some reason, I don't know why I'm so curious about the underground
I know.
sandstone section of this church.
I know.
Which is not
Because
guarded
it's
and
underground.
Not, I'm just very. It piqued my interest.
Okay. Maybe we'll just go down a little bit.
I feel like nobody stopped us when we
Yeah.
walked toward the
I mean, I'm
stairs.
okay.
It seems like there's an open part of the area. It's not,
Yeah.
sectioned off.
Like, hey, don't go down there.
Yeah, you'd think
Things
someone...
things that could kill you. Like,
There was no brick
no
road.
warning signs.
Yeah.
Okay.
No roped off areas.
Okay, I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna. This is the part. This is probably right where I die. I'm gonna go take the torch off the wall.
You just hear,
I'm gonna light the torch up.
It is lit.
Oh, it's lit.
It's lit.
We'll take the torch off.
See, somebody's been down here to light the torch at least
You said it
within the
was
last
left or
6
left and
hours.
right.
Correct. There's two
Four.
torches. As you come down the steps, there's 2 torches in front of you, and then at the bottom of the steps, off to the right and left, there's 2 corridors that head off that direction, as if they go the length of the church.
Okay, I'll go towards the left.
Okay.
The torch out in front of me.
You go down. You start going down this this hallway, and on either side there are these flat and then arched niches. The bottom part is flat, and then the top part has an arch to it, and it's dark going back in, and then they literally start at just above the floor, and there'll be one, and then a little bit above that another, and then above that another, and above that a fourth, and they all the way down the walls. And if you glance inside the niches, in each one you see a body. Sometimes just decayed and bones, and other times a body shrouded, and occasionally you'll see one that's in some kind of you're guessing it's kind of like a casket almost shoved in to them. But they seem to go all the way down pretty far, almost the length of the cathedral. And do you
Like
keep
catacombs?
going, or what are you doing?
It's an ossuary for the bones.
I'll keep going.
Down at the very, very, very far end on the far wall, you get there, and somebody has painted a depiction on that far wall. And for some reason, the wall doesn't quite match the rest of the room. The sandstone, it seems slightly different. It's almost as if something was put on the wall, and then there was this painting painted on the wall. And the painting depicts 2 figures. One is, it's kind of hard to tell. At a quick guess, somebody, what are you guys doing?
Just looking, not touching, just investigating. I'm gonna look up and down with the light. I'll look up and down the painting itself.
Okay, you look up and down the painting. There's what appears to be, I mean, it almost looks like a woman, her arms raised in the air, and her expression is indecipherable. And there's a man opposite her, what you guess is a man, just because based upon the physical shape, is a man, and he's pointing to something that is in between the two of them. And it's really kind of hard, but his head is turned away, and he's pointing to it, and she's on the opposite side. And then in between the two of them is this, it almost looks like a table of sorts. It's 4 legs, but the 4 legs are almost floating in the air. And then on top of it, there is some kind of very small case that is black and that is arched across the top and flat on either ends. And what strikes you as strange, if anything strikes you as strange, is their clothing. Their clothing is obviously, discernibly not Germanic, not Romanian, not Italian or Spanish. It is very, very distinctly Romanesque.
Okay. It's the Ark of the Covenant. Okay. This is probably something. John, do you recognize any of this? I mean, this is a Christian cathedral, correct?
Yes.
Is this Christian?
Is that Christian?
Maybe.
Maybe?
Does this scene have any significance to you?
I do not think so. I was alive well after the Romans were gone. History was never my forte.
Okay.
Looks more Roman than Christian.
Does the hallway come to an end at the painting? Or
Yes.
is it like round? Like, is it just like...
Just comes to an end.
Comes to an end. Okay. I have a feeling this goes somewhere. I don't know how, but...
Touch it. Is it softer than the other stuff? The walls around?
I'll touch the painting. Does it feel any different?
It just feels like it's a different material, as opposed to the sandstone
stone.
walls. As if the sandstone, you're in this what is clearly some kind of perhaps ossuary, perhaps, but it's some kind of catacomb. That everything else in here has been carved in here, and this looks like almost like it's plastered.
I gotta feel it for maybe any indentations or. If I don't feel
It
anything,
feels like it's been there for a very long time.
Push, maybe.
It doesn't. I mean, unless you do something strange, it doesn't.
Okay. All right.
There may be something on the other side.
Maybe we put a pin in it for right now.
Okay. Do you have a pin to put in it?
Go search my phone. I don't know. What do you think, Mattias? Should we pursue this, or should we rest up, finish resting first, and then come back?
It depends on how time sensitive you think it is.
I don't.
If we have the time to rest, I think that it would be worthwhile, simply because we don't know what it is that we will be approaching.
Okay.
But if the time is not there, then that is simply the way it is.
The cloud has been there for 31 days and
Yeah,
2
but our
weeks
people
and
are traveling
8
back
days.
now. That's my only thought, you know. But you're right. I mean, I guess we do have time. I don't have much to offer the situation right now.
I might have an idea actually, and I'll put my hand on that black kind of like box. And
Okay.
I'll touch my other hand to my helmet, and I'll be like, thinking in my head, helmet, can you hear me?
I'm the crazy one.
Oh wait.
Oh, roll percentile die.
Oh god.
I'm the crazy one.
Ooh, that's a 95.
What did I just do?
You hear.
It talks to you?
Does not.
I like how Mikolash is creating his own magical item.
What's happening?
I have to just find sense left. While he does that, I'm gonna use my last divine sense.
Okay. Refresh my memory. What does that do?
I can detect good and evil until the end of my next turn. Anything? 60 feet.
And consecrated and desecrated areas, right?
And also undead as well. Detects.
Oh, great.
Well, I can tell it, at least.
You cast that, and he's up against the wall, feeling, and God, and you're hearing the sound in your head, Mikolash. Like, as you're there, and they're like, come, fellow warrior, come to us. We want with us again. And you just sense evil and undead.
Where?
On the other side
On the
of
other
the
side.
wall.
I'm sensing undead directly on the other side of this wall.
I am hearing undead in my head. It's loud and very unnerving.
Alright, we're coming back here at a later time. I think this might take us to where we need to go. But we're in no condition to do this. And we need Ximén.
I'm gonna think in my head, how about I'll talk to you a little bit later.
Yeah. Alright, we're gonna dump
We don't got time for this now.
Alright, we're heading back out, right?
Yeah,
okay.
we're heading
We're heading back out?
Yeah.
Fine by me.
Alright. Okay.
You go back up the steps and you're back into the main part of the cathedral now.
Yeah.
Should we head back?
Head back.
Tavern?
Tavern. Gotta relax some. Think about what we've seen. Yeah.
You head out of the cathedral. You're in the market square. The cathedral square, not necessarily market square, although there is activity going on in the square itself. And you quickly find your way down the path toward the tavern that you had been staying at. There are other ones throughout the town, but you quickly find your way back to it. And you guys are there. What are you doing? You're outside of it anyway.
So I had a thought. The other tavern had like a Roman soldier looking thing outside of it.
You're thinking maybe we get the discount because of my helmet? Or?
Right. Yeah, exactly what I was thinking. I don't know. I thought maybe if we stayed there, maybe we might catch a little bit of gossip or.
I think I ate all the
tavern
sausages
talk.
they had here, so
Oh,
we're better
yeah.
off going to a new place.
Okay. I have no issue.
Right, right, maybe we'll hear some, like, just gossip talk about Roman legionnaires and stuff like that. Okay.
Okay, so you make your way back toward, and you can see you're outside of Van House Bloom, and there's the other cathedral that you saw, not cathedral, the other tavern that you saw, one of the taverns that you saw nearby, had a large carved wooden image of a Roman warrior hanging in front of the building. And it says, Mogon Tiacum. Mogon Tiacum is the name of it.
Let's go in.
Sure. Okay. You go into the tavern, and it's at the moment it's probably midday, maybe a little bit past midday at this point. There's some musicians playing, and they're like somebody.
The layout is exactly like the other place. I wonder if,
well, I have another one. I have got a stack of pins over here. You really want me to pull out another one? I actually got a whole bunch of them.
So it's a Sears Roebuck inn?
Yeah, they must have
They were all the same.
Yeah.
You just put them together. They get shipped.
Okay.
Modular.
Yeah.
Modular inns.
All the pieces are labeled. It's easy.
Okie doke. So you're inside. The barkeep, young lady comes over to you. What can I get for you? In German, she says to you, was haben Sie drinken?
A couple ales, and my friend here would like some of your finest sausage.
Yeah, sausages.
Sausages.
Okay. Sausages.
Sausages for everyone, right? Sausages, right, John?
For everyone?
Well, I mean, yeah.
No, okay.
Yeah.
She brings over some ales and sausages, and you guys are there, and they're very, very good.
Mm. Are they better here or the other place?
They're better here.
Okay. We'd like to stay the week. So we're wondering...
These sausages are so good. I'd like to stay a whole week.
She comes back. She's cleaning herself up. Of course. How many rooms?
3.
3? Very well. For a week, 42 gold. And that'll include breakfast. Drinks are separate.
Okay.
I can't pat myself down.
We got it.
I have this. I'd take out this torpedo-shaped chunk of gold.
Sure.
I cover it? Is that enough gold?
It's a pretty big piece.
And some.
It's probably about
Where did you?
10 inches long.
You don't want to know.
She grabs it in interesting shape.
I don't know where it came from.
Sometimes gold forms when it's under extreme pressure.
I've heard that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Is I don't. That.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Mattias. He got it how he got it.
By drinking too much.
Yeah.
This makes even less sense than Balder and the little bag that he carries around.
This actually makes more sense.
With the eyeballs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This actually makes more sense.
The eyeballs are scary.
At least we know how this happened.
Okay, so she brings food around, more sausages, and takes up your big lump of gold. And what are you guys doing?
Eating.
Okay, there's plenty of food, plenty of drink.
Huh?
Is there anything you want to accomplish today, tomorrow, the next 7 days, so to speak?
I just want to listen. If there's any Roman talk, anything about maybe the lake, anything about any of that stuff. Part of me wants to see if there's a priest or somebody that resides over that cathedral, like that we could talk to about the catacombs. But I'm very confident that there's undead on the other side of that wall. So, I just want to know where that leads to.
Maybe that's just why the wall is there.
Maybe.
To keep them on that side.
Possibly.
So talking to somebody first might be a good idea,
Right.
because maybe they're trying to keep
Right.
that in there.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, everybody roll a perception check, please.
16.
23.
Your stinking wisdom.
Okay.
My eyes are open. I see everything.
You pick up for some reason somebody mentioning Drusus, and you really can't really tell what they were saying at the moment, but you kind of nudge. What did you roll?
16.
16. You nudge. What did you roll?
A 10.
You nudge Borinth, and Borinth listens in a little bit more attuned, picking up on it in German, which you don't speak, and you hear them talking about kids going out on the lake, and they went out, and Johnny, he got his foot nipped, but he managed to get off, and somebody else is nudging him. Did he do well later? Well, he won't tell me. Oh, he didn't then. He bombed. And that's about all you pick up on that. They don't really...
Okay.
Unless you do anything, a couple days go by. I'm not trying to rush you through anything, but...
Nope.
Is it worth checking out the shops? Make a little shopping day? Do we need potions? Do we need anything like that? Do we feel we need to restore our supplies in any fashions?
Yeah, I mean, we could always use potions. I just spent, I think, too much personally.
Yeah, our bank's not here.
Yeah. Our bank's not here. Yeah, I don't really have the money to spend. I don't have much left.
Do you want me to steal something for you?
I mean, if you want to spend the rest of your time in possibly jail, by all means, go for it. Go do what you want to do. It's up to you.
I'm just asking.
You don't have to steal it from me. I don't.
Don't let Matthews steal.
I don't
see you steal it, no matter what you do.
I typically try to avoid the stealing of other people's property, but.
Well, if you really think about it, how you make a potion, well, you probably stole from the lands, stole from the planet itself, and I really think it's a who's to say kind of thing, laws are very loose. But okay, all right, I get the idea.
Yeah, I got nothing else. Yeah, I mean, I can't really go shopping because I spent a lot.
Your report.
Yeah.
It's not Balder report.
Funny. My problem is that Matthias can't speak German.
We have a translator,
We got two translators.
He would probably get tired of having to go through a translator every single time he wants to talk. After like 5th, 6th, 7th time.
Yeah, I'm good with letting time pass.
Okay.
He wasn't doing this after the first couple of days.
Unless you do something, and time passes, a day, a couple of days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, and you've been there a week in Mainz, and it's been pretty quiet. There are people coming and going, and you hear little things about the Drusus Lake, Drusus Monument, but and kids going out there in the fog, but you get the impression that people have become normalized to them. Yeah. That it's just what Eiffel Tower? What do you? Right. Yeah, it's there.
Okay. Do we get a long rest?
Yes, you completed a long rest.
Thank goodness. Thank you.
Balder, if you're out there, you completed a long rest.
Yes.
Pandora, you as well. Not that the Warlock needs a long rest.
It's always so long, I forget how it works. We get half our hit dice back.
Yeah.
And then we get to spend the hit dice for hit points? Right?
No, you don't.
No,
have
you
to.
get all your hit points.
Oh, you get all the hit
back,
points.
Yeah.
But you get half your
the hit dice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you get all your spell slots back.
I think it was.
What's
And
that?
all of our hit points.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. You're back at full hit points, and anything that resets on a long rest, you get back. Like your superiority dice, what do they reset on? I don't. Long rest.
I'm pretty sure it is a long rest.
Yeah.
I will have to look at the Cavalier thing again.
Okay.
Or maybe it's worth here. Superiority dice. No, I didn't write down the details. I'll have to look it up again.
Okay. No problem. But I don't think you used. I'm not even sure you used any, to be honest with you.
I haven't in a while.
Oh, okay.
I keep forgetting I have them.
Ah, okay. Okay, you're in the tavern. 7 days have passed. It's a pleasant August afternoon. Cool in the mornings. The sun comes up. It still feels good.
Oh, I feel
You guys
well rested.
feel a lot better. You've eaten well. Tons of sausages. You
So much
probably need a
sausage.
little fiber about now.
Well, I'm sure there's plenty of cabbage eaten as well.
Probably.
Yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of
German.
cabbage. Yes, you could. I'm sure there's
Cabbage
plenty
and
of cabbage.
sausage.
I'm sure there's other stuff too, but if all you ate was sausages
And ale.
and ale,
Oof.
you'd be clean.
Not that far off my normal diet.
I'm feeling pretty good. Do you guys want to maybe venture? We can go about this in two ways. We can go out on the ice, or we can investigate underneath Cathedral. Let's see where that leads us.
I remember the ice thing, and I'm not a big fan of the ice. There's lots of creatures in there.
We don't even know what the monument is or what it looks like.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
Is
do
it-
also
is it-
know.
Is it an island? Is it just something that sticks out to the water? I have no idea.
I think there's a pressing threat with undead monsters under the town. I feel like that could go really bad very quickly for all these people.
Behind a wall.
Yeah, but how many and for how long? You know.
The wall has held so far.
Well, we can speak to somebody in the cathedral. There's got to be somebody that
Okay.
Yeah,
knows something about it.
I'd like to know about that before we get out on the lake.
Okay.
Personally.
Yeah.
All
Let's
right.
head to the cathedral.
Let's go.
Which reminds me, who are you today? Are you Ximén today?
Yes.
Ximén. We have a lot to talk about.
It took a while of rest, but
So,
I
do you-
feel myself again.
Do you remember everything that John experienced, or you don't experience it for yourself?
It was like watching through a haze,
Okay.
kind of.
Okay. Is this something that you want to do?
I don't think I have any choice but to be linked with the book and
Okay.
everyone. I think it may help us in the end.
Okay. Is it something that we need to fear for our own safety? Is there the possibility that you're going to turn on us again like you did apparently before? You are aware of what you've done. It'll be a hard sell when we go back to the Badenweiler, knowing what you've done to some people that were there.
I know what happened. It was beyond my control. I did nothing out of my own volition. What happened was a product of John and Hallen fighting for my body and my soul.
Is it possible that they will fight again?
Well, they were fighting for me. There is another Abdullah al-Sarid. He tried to take my body. He was unsuccessful. He will not try again. He knows he cannot win. But he is present, just like John is and Hallen is.
Okay.
And it is in his best interest that I survive, so the book survives. So I do not feel that
But if he was to take over your body,
it will not happen.
What if someone else read the book? Would he try to take over their body?
it's a really good question.
Maybe somebody
If someone else
that...
had the book, what would happen to you?
You would be trapped in the book. You would become a personality or
Perhaps.
of that other being.
It's a possibility. Just make sure I don't die and don't let anybody else have the book. Is that difficult? You've done a pretty good job keeping me alive so far.
Yeah. We're just wondering if we need to watch our back, and when things get difficult, if you're gonna switch back to whatever happened to you before.
I do not see that happening again. I would give you my word on it, but I do not know how much that will hold until you see.
I think it'll
See
be
it
good
for
enough
yourselves.
for now. I think it'll be good enough for now. We've been through some things together.
Do you think anyone could read that book? Just curious.
If you are inclined, somebody can read it. It is hard to explain.
John said that he had to bind with the book some way. Did you try to bind with the book? Did you do something that you haven't done before with the book?
Yes, I did. I tried to enhance one of my spells with a spell that is in the book. It lies hidden, and I tried to pull some power from that into one of my own spells. In hindsight, the thing that made me do that was Alcered. That was his plan to weaken me, to be able to take over my body, but it failed. He, in a flash, I thought it was my brilliant idea to combine the two, that I would save the day and I would save your hometown. I would rid the land of this menace that was taking your people. I saw it as clear as day in my eyes.
Okay.
But when I attempted to do so, it did not happen. And horrible things happened, and I am sorry.
Well, I hate to be negative, but who's to say that you're confident that you can keep Al-Hazred? Al-Hazred?
Uh-huh.
You don't have to correct me, it's rude.
You seemed like as if you were grasping.
There was definitely a question mark at the end.
I think we can move past it. But maybe there's still influence there, maybe making you feel confident.
I would say that
Yes,
that both John and Hallen and Al-Hazred are all very much part of me now.
Gross.
So I do not...
They're totally in him.
I don't know how to separate myself from them or them from me. I think in the long run, they may be able to help me and us in our endeavors.
Can you freely switch? Can the control be freely switched between?
It is not. I have been talking with Hallen, and it is not so much that as their influence over me. There will never be days where you do not see Ximén again, where you only see John or Hallen or somebody else. That was only necessary while my mind recovered.
Okay.
I can ask them for help, I think, and they may be able to assist me. I know John is very proficient with healing people. Hallen is very educated.
Okay.
I would not like to talk about what
I understand.
the other.
Yeah. Well, why don't we put it to the test? I'll trust you with my back, and let's go see. Let's go see what we can do here. Try to put an end to this whole Drusus situation.
I look forward to it.
And I look forward to being able to move on, free these people, and move on. So.
Do you think Baldur's Clock is still around?
It's somewhere.
I just dearly hope that this contract will not lead to dire consequences.
But like a debt of some sort to be paid?
I think he's already paid a debt.
Whenever there is something received. But who is to say that all parties involved will keep to the terms?
Well, that
After
remains
all,
to be seen.
We have seen very clearly that a door is now possible to be made open that was not open before.
You think we should kill Ximén just to be safe?
Do you want the book for yourself, Mattias?
I don't like that. I don't like that look. I don't like that look.
Very much. And I cannot fathom the possibility of any man being willing to have that infringed upon.
I don't think he had much of a choice. I think what's happened, and he's trying to put his best foot forward and live with it. I think we need to stick together in more ways than just as a group.
Separate ways.
No, I know that's what I'm saying. In more ways than just physically staying together as a group. I think we need to stick together and support each other. And I trust Ximén with my back. I always have. I have no reason to doubt him, other than this creepy multi-personality book thing, evil book.
I trust Ximén.
Well, right now Zymon's in control.
I kind of like Halan. I think Halan and I had a thing. I think we're buddy.
Just thinking. Make sure they're speaking to Ximén. You ready? There was an item that you desired to possess that a party member had departed from the group without leaving it in your... What was the item?
You're talking about Morton.
I am? And what was the item?
That damn spider ring!
It's Ximén. Okay. We're speaking to Ximén. Okay.
We should have
Safe
hired
words.
the mercenaries to go after him and get that back.
Hey, maybe we will.
We should
Maybe
have.
someday we will.
Maybe he found his way home.
Perhaps once I'm a count instead of a landless knight baron.
To the cathedral?
You hire mercenaries and I'll ride out knights at my back to assist you.
Yeah, to the cathedral. And this painting. Well, first we'll talk to
someone who maybe knows.
To the abbot or
or
friar.
You head out into the city. We'll just call it midday on the last day, or the seventh day after your long rest at this point. Busy port town along the river. You make your way in between the buildings. You find yourself in the square very quickly. Sounds like it's a little bit busier than it was before. And then you go into the church, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay. You're inside the church. What are you guys doing?
I'm gonna look for like a priest or someone who seems like they preside over the cathedral.
Okay, it takes you a little while, but eventually you see somebody moving up. He's more like he's just checking up on making sure nobody's stealing candles or anything like that. One of a younger priest kind of moving around in between.
just he's not bothering people, but he's just kind of walking back and forth.
Okay.
Checking for wax spots on the ground.
Yeah. Thieves.
You want to
Is the abbot available?
He walks by you, and you say to him in German, "Is the abbot of?" You mean the bishop?
Oh, yeah.
He's not readily available, but is there something I can help you with, my son? I'm a priest here.
We have some questions about the catacombs below the church.
Do you have somebody who needs to be interred?
No. Perhaps more of a disinterment?
Disinterment? He looks at you.
He's the one that plays the flute. He's the flautist.
He says, "Excuse me."
Wow. I never. Yeah, that's an odd sound. Yeah.
And
learn how to do that.
He somebody disinterred. I mean, it's not normally something that's done. I mean,
It's
you
more of a
don't look
historical
like
question.
townspeople.
Yeah, it seems that part of the crypt has been sealed off.
Oh,
there is a mural upon the wall, and you can go no further, but it clearly used to go further.
Well, perhaps. I mean, it's been that way since I can remember.
Which is why we should talk to the bishop, since he is older.
Very well. Wait here. I'll see if Bishop Frederick.
Let him know. We'll make a nice donation.
I mean, you don't look like townspeople or businessmen.
I mean, I am from a town.
Yes, but your attire is
splendid. I know.
Splendid. That's not the word I was looking for, but
very nice.
I mean, it's awfully judgmental.
I just had this tailored in the last town we were in.
Somewhat in your position.
Man wearing polished armor.
Are we not all?
Wearing
Are we not
very
all
little.
Children of
a monk
God?
with a nicely patinaed helmet on his head, and a man with
I suppose if we interpret every god as being the same god.
Very well. I will see if the bishop is he disappears for a little while. He comes back. It's probably slightly longer than you anticipated. Probably about a half hour goes by. And he comes back and he has somebody in tow with him. A rather heavy-set, shorter individual of a few more years. And he comes up to you. Yes, I'm Bishop Frederick. What may I help you with, child? Something about disinterring? Do you have family members here?
No. He misunderstood from the beginning. You should send him for some help. He does not hear very well.
He turns to his priest. Well, the priest just shrugs. Then please help me understand. What is it you want help with, child?
My compatriots and I are here investigating the fog and the ice that lies outside your city. From this point, a force has been laying havoc across the land, stealing men, women, and children out of villages to conscript them into some horrid servitude, creating creatures for an army that no longer exists. They claim to follow a dead Roman named Drusus, the one that you erected a statue to thousands of years ago out in the lake.
That we erected a statue to?
Well, not you, but The collective we of the town, thousands of years ago. It surely is why you have remained safe, and all the villages around you are laid bare by these abominations. We have found a passage in the crypt that seems as if it has been sealed off. By all our senses, beyond is something horrible. That's maybe the root cause of what is happening.
Yes, there is a sealed off portion of the crypts that has been sealed off long before. And it appears to be a Romanesque painting upon it.
Yes, it does seem to be that antiquity, but
they were heretics. I mean, we don't disturb the dead.
There are no records of what lied beyond? Just
No, I mean, there's no.
more body? It was just part of the crypt that was sealed off, or was it something else?
I mean, we don't have drawings or anything like that, if that's what you mean.
What about the drawing that's on the wall? Do you know what that picture is depicting?
No, I have no idea. I suspect it's some heretical drawing that, of the Romans who, at that time, 1300 and some odd years ago, whatever they worshipped, but it wasn't Christ.
You were never curious to understand what's beyond that wall, that picture is? You never
Well, we assume they were dead. I mean, that
okay. So there's you know that beyond that wall there's continues crypts, there's further crypts underneath there?
Well, on the other side, there's other crypts that go farther back.
Okay.
So, and that is not sealed off. There are many parts of the church that are sealed off. I mean, the floors, if you walk the floors, there are people buried in the floors. They're buried in the walls. People bury their family members, obviously, for a fee, throughout the cathedral.
Okay.
But, I mean, it's not that unusual, but...
Would you permit us to use means to take that wall down,
To take the wall down, and then do what?
to see what is on the other side?
If there's any heretical offerings or anything, that should not be on such a holy land site such as this one. Surely you'd want us to expunge it.
Very well. You make a sound argument there. And you think that this has something to do with the fog on the lake?
We do?
It may.
Have you been at this cathedral for greater than 30 years?
No, I have not been here that long, no. I've only been here...
Remember when?
About just shy of 6 years.
Okay.
Since the last bishop was appointed by the bishop to the emperor.
What happened to the last bishop?
And just passed away.
Okay.
I don't know why. Just I think that would be all right. What do you think you're going to find beyond it?
We're hoping it will lead us to some sort of a solution to the ice and the fog out on the lake, and why it seems to be coming from Drusus's monument.
Interesting.
Have there ever been any rumors of any passages from the city to the monument in the lake?
Not that I'm aware of. I've only been here a half dozen years. I mean, there's some crazy guy who lives across the street. He knows some things. I'd like to hear more of the history, but...
He does not know much except for the droppings of felines.
And a little bit of history. Oh yeah, we'll give it to him.
Yeah.
We'll give it to him.
But, no, I don't. I don't know of any. I'm not saying there's not.
So here's what we do know, right? We know that there's undead coming from the fog on the lake, and we know that there's undead underneath or behind on the other side of that wall.
Yes.
Right? So those are the two common factors that we know. Chances are they're connected in some way, or connected physically connected to each other. We know that if we go to try to walk out on the lake, we have to fight gigantic
icy things.
Icy serpent worm things,
yeah.
right?
Okay.
So it's the question is, you want to fight the gigantic icy worm things that explode and shoot shards of ice at us, or do you want to just possibly have to fight undead creatures in a catacomb? I mean, it is called Dungeons and Dragons. So that's really that's what our options are.
It's a good place to start, and at least keep our feet dry.
Yeah.
I like it.
You permit us to investigate further beyond that wall?
I hate to sound so parochial. I mean, a large contribution to the cathedral would be greatly appreciated.
How about a mediocre contribution and any artifacts that you may find significantly, Christian or something that might...
There won't be anything Christian beyond that wall.
You don't know that. There might be some other artifacts.
It may have been that the Romans conquered some Christian lands and stole their relics. We could return
It's possible. I'm not a historian. I guess it's possible. Sure. A mediocre contribution.
What do you consider a mediocre contribution?
I don't know. I was about to go there myself.
We hand him 2 sausages.
I got this half a piece of gold log.
Oh, you got another piece of gold log?
It's the other half.
Okay.
I had to break it in half to pay the bill.
Would 25 gold be?
Please. You gentlemen look like you can afford more than that.
Well,
for
Marius? Because I'm not.
I got 46 gold left. Yeah. That's what I got left of my log.
I have gold if it is needed.
Okay, well, we need a contribution to be made of mediocre significance.
To it.
How much?
Well, that's the question. What are you willing to contribute? I can pony. I can pony up 25.
Person is balanced and flips through it.
I got 10.
Do you count it or do you weigh it? Like, that's a big thing.
I got 40, so we're up to.
Well, no,
10,
don't spend
50,
all your gold.
25.
Don't spend all your gold. I'll put in 25 gold, and what do you got?
Make Balder pay for anything.
Would 50 gold be sufficient? Would that be a good?
I was thinking more. I mean, it would be gauche of me to say, but I was thinking more in the realms of like 500-ish would be very, very appropriate to tearing down the walls inside of a cathedral.
I mean, we could just tear down the walls.
Well, here's my 40 gold pieces. And here's Mikolash's 10 gold pieces.
That's 50.
How much gold do you have?
I am poor. Damn you, Balder.
What is our current count?
What is our what?
That dude's got like 20,000.
I'm not taking it from them. I'll put in 100, and then I'm in the Mikolash range.
What is our current total then?
100 gold.
No, we'll pony up another 50. We're at 150.
Yeah.
We're 150 altogether.
We're at 150.
Come on, Manius, you got
That
it.
just turns to the man.
How about you tell
Well,
us?
I have an interesting bargain, sir.
The word of God does not come easily to parts of the world, and it must be funded.
Of course, St. Peter's Pence, correct?
How about 250 and any items that we find within?
Very well. 250.
I'm willing to go to contribute. the
Okay,
remainder.
we have 150, so we need 100 from you.
I will contribute that.
Okay.
Very well. And
I think you drive a harder bargain, Mattias, than this gentleman of the abbot or the bishop.
guys, everybody having a good time?
Oh yeah.
You try being a member of a newly ennobled family and tell me that you will be stingy sometimes.
We're gonna pause there. I assume you guys are going into the crypt, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
That's where we're going.
Okay.
That's where we're going.
Okay. Ximén, what was your highlight? Or Jess?
I just like everybody's loss of not knowing what to do with me.
I thought it was very creative. I'm interested to see where it goes.
Should we get rid of him?
To see where
I'm really ready for Mattias to just like stab me.
I hope that doesn't happen without.
I'm ready for you to like shank me as I'm like walking down the stairs.
Roxas has nothing against Ximén personally. He just has something against magical artifacts that he finds suspicious.
That's
And
justifiable, I suppose.
and a lot of other things.
Yeah, he's a mixed bag.
That's what we're worried about. There's lots of other
A
things.
lot of other things.
Cool.
1,200 experience points, sir. Awesome job. Mikolash, Chris, do you have a good time?
Yeah.
What was
I'd
your
say
highlight?
So. I thought it was really cool. I do like to every now and then kind of throw you a little bit off, and I'll just like ask some weird question, like I try to talk to the helmet kind of thing. Like it was cool that we got anything out of that. I got little chills for a second when you were like, and you hear these voices like just saying like, "Come to us." That was really exciting for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it.
That was sketchy. That was scary.
I was like, what did I just do?
I didn't like that at all.
Like me as a person being like, why did I
voices.
do that?
What?
Channeling
That was
Mikolash
so
too
bad.
far.
That was so bad.
That was my highlight though, yeah.
Okay, awesome. 2,700 experience points.
All right.
Brian, what was your highlight?
There's some really good role playing. Some conversations about like what's happening with Ximén was great. I enjoyed my talk with Sigismund. You know, kind of giving him kind of like handing the reins over to kind of lead the people. I thought it actually worked out better that way. I think it was.
Yeah, it's kind of like a redemption arc for him.
Yeah. It very much fun
In a lot
that
of
way.
ways,
So
yeah.
that was a lot of fun. That was cool.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
Okay, cool. I thought it was I thought it worked out very well too.
Yeah.
1,700 experience points. Thank you for the log. That includes the log. Thank you very much for that. Mattias, Reiner, did you have a good time?
I did.
What was your highlight?
Honestly, I don't think I had one specific highlight this time. I was kind of half hoping that I would get to have Mattias go into a full haggle with Priest there, but
I wasn't sure if you were going to or not.
it was not thought to be.
Okay. It all worked out good. 1,200 experience points. Brian, you were not here in 2 weeks, correct?
Is that which session are we not doing? I remember there was one in September you said you couldn't do. I don't have it on my
I
calendar.
don't have.
Is that the 22nd?
Yeah, I think the.
Yeah, I'm not going to be here next week. I'm going to be in North Carolina.
Yeah, I think.
The
Well,
fir-
there
the
is no
first-
session
the
next
first
week.
is
In
the
2
next.
weeks, but yeah.
Yeah,
first-
I
first
won't
of
actually- I
September.
won't be at the first.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Understood.
Sorry.
I don't remember if it's. It might be the one after that. I'm pretty sure it's the first. It'd be the
Yeah.
15th.
So the
We have the
I'm pretty
first,
sure.
and then we're off on the 15th, and we come
Yeah,
back on the 29th.
I'm away with Deb, and so all good, guys. I had a good
Sorry.
time.
I hate missing games. I like being here so much. I
I
need vacation.
I
I need to see my family.
no, I'm all good.
I get it. We do this for fun, and hopefully everybody's having fun. And I get it. I am thrilled when you tell me that 2 weeks ahead of time. I'm not trying to control anybody's life or anything like that. I'm thrilled when you tell me 2 weeks ahead of time that you can't. I'm not thrilled that you won't be here, but I like to know because I can actually think and plan.
Right.
When I get it, I'm not complaining because real life happens. But when somebody sends me a text at 12:37 in the morning, the day of the game, really, there's nothing I can do at that point. It actually, I have to kind of, because I take Wednesday night to really. I take Friday to prep, and then I take Wednesday night to do any final prepping, because I have a job too on Thursdays to go to, and I had 3 flights today, and so as much as I'd love to be planning game stuff, I also have to do my job. So it is helpful to be able to think things out, and you're a DM. I don't know if you've done DMing or not. I know Reiner's done a little. Encounter building is not a science, despite CR. It is an art, and I've learned a little bit over 44 years, but I've also still get it wrong. So it's helpful to know who's going to be at the table. I always ask all of you everything about your characters because I'm sitting there. I'm not trying to plot against you. I'm trying to make sure that I try and find moments for people to shine. At the same time, I try and make it so that it's not ridiculously overpowered for some people, and there's a balance in there. So it's not an exact science, and I get it wrong sometimes. And but I got to drive on. Guys, I do appreciate it. I had a good time.
And we're long rested.
And you're long rested. I was a little worried when I found out that, both Balder wasn't here, and then Michelle couldn't make it, and then I didn't know where you were at the beginning. And so I'm like, what's going to happen? If they go running across the ice, we finished the long rest, now we go across the ice. Yeah. And I'm like,
we're all good.
There's 3 of you, and I'm sitting here going, And, I'm like, how am I going to do this?
We sink to the bottom and drown.
Thank you guys for watching Seven-Sided Dice Carpathian Adventure. Again, we'd like to thank Sirenscape for anything I said about it in the past. This computer seems to be working now. Thanks, Sirenscape, for the use of their audio sound effects. That's www.syrinscape.com. Thank you, artists Yenu and Silky Noir, for the terrific character art. Please patronize Silky Noir on Instagram, on Yenu on Tumblr and Twitter, and patronize also Silky Noir on DeviantArt. I've read this so many times that I'm not even reading it anymore, and so I'm mixing it up. So I apologize. But you got the gist. Thank the artists, because we're required to thank them. Please comment in the Twitch chat room on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and on YouTube. While we do this strictly for fun, please let us know how we might improve the stream. Lastly, please follow us on Twitch, on Instagram. Please like on Facebook and on YouTube, and please subscribe on YouTube. We're running a little bit behind, so I'm not going to bore you with my periodic diatribe. Just know that always remember, in the Carpathian Adventure, the journey is the destination, and we will continue the journey in 2 weeks, albeit without Brian Borth. So for now, thank you for watching. Roll a 7-sided die and have a great night.
Huzzah!